for the first couple of hours. 913-912-4810 is the text line to join us. 913-912-4810 to be a part of the show, part of the conversation. All-Star break is upon us. Royals wrap up their pre-All-Star at 47-50, 3 games under 500, 12 games behind the Tigers, 4.5 games out of the wild card. And they will start a road trip coming up on Friday, heading to Miami and heading to Chicago and to take on the Cubs. We'll talk some Royals baseball today, certainly. We'll talk some Chiefs football today. Joel Penfield will join us coming up at noon. One Royal Way podcast. Mick Schaefer in the 1 o'clock hour. Learn funniest best. We've got that all still to come here in the show tonight. The Home Run Derby starts right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, 7 o'clock with the star-studded cast. I kid. Anybody, any other last-minute additions since now we got Matt Olson for Ronald Acuna? Anybody else going to? I mean, O'Neal Cruz had a hip injury that, he didn't play yesterday. So he's resting his hip for the Home Run Derby. I don't know. So maybe there'll be a last-second entry for O'Neal Cruz. I don't know. He's
Kevin
the second.
Biggio.
He's the
Kevin
second.
Biggio might get it.
Maybe. I mean, Michael Garcia. Why not?
It's like the NFL when, what's his name? Tyler Huntley, All-Star. Pro Bowl. Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, we see that with the All-Star game, too. And even with all the people that make the All-Star game, we still have controversy in the National League. So, understandable controversy, but still controversy there in the National League with the final selection? Was Mizorowski the final selection in the All-Star game with the final? Technically, it's not an injury replacement because it's a family emergency replacement or a family matter replacement. Steve Urkel, Family Matters, is gone. But Mizorowski will be a National League All-Star. So we'll get into that a little bit as well. Coming up at 11 o'clock, looking forward to this. We have put together our Royals all-time All-Star team. So what the All-Star team would look like in Royals history. Position players, DH, a starting pitcher, a closer, and a manager is what we have come up with for our all-time All-Star team in Royals history. So left field, center field, right field, the entire infield, the catcher, starting pitcher, closer, DH, and manager. So we'll get into that coming up at 11 o'clock. We'll weigh in on what we think will happen in the Home Run Derby. The participants, if you did not know, Cal Raleigh, O'Neal Cruz, James Wood, Matt Olson, Brent Rooker, Byron Buxton, Junior Caminero, and Jazz Chisholm. In a few years, we may look back at that one and be like, man, James Wood and Junior Caminero in that Home Run Derby. That's pretty awesome. Who else? Oh, Jazz was in it? No, that's all right. Cool. And former Royal, Brent Rooker. So back-to-back years of a Royal in the Home Run Derby.
Boo Jazz. Boo Cano.
Yes, I hope Jazz Chisholm hits all of 0 home runs. I will be rooting for 0 home runs for Jazz Chisholm. And we'll see. Cal Raleigh, the betting favorite. O'Neal Cruz, second betting favorite. And we'll get into that coming up in the second hour. We'll talk some football with Trey Smith, the deadline being tomorrow. Pretty Ricky, the NFL insider that is independent and is not connected to any national news outlet, but is pretty good in predictions the last couple of years, has put out that Trey Smith and the Chiefs have reached an agreement on a 4-year deal that will be announced tomorrow. And he's been pretty good. He has said for a while that the Chiefs and Trey Smith are close on a deal that will be announced later on. Tomorrow is the deadline. So we'll see what that looks like, if that is true. I would guess that it's true. He's been pretty damn good on his NFL predictions. So Trey Smith looks like he has signed, or at least agreed to, a 4-year deal with the Chiefs. We'll see. That is one particular report that is out there from somebody that's been pretty good, although unaffiliated with any national news outlet. Again, 913-912-4810 is the text line. We'll get into the draft for the Royals yesterday, an assessment of where the Royals are at the All-Star break right now, what this second half / post All-Star, I hate how it's like, second half, even though it's not the second half. The final 40% of the season.
Yeah.
2/5
of the season is left.
That's right. What that will look like for the Royals. But we start off with our man Dylan Michaels that made the announcement this morning. And by the way, to my shock and surprise, like I was out of the loop on this. Yet again, like, can somebody inform me of what's going on around here? You know, they said, don't worry, somebody's leaving the show. And I'm like, Sterling's out? Yeah. No, I'm joking, Sterling. That is not true. That is not true. They did not say that. No.
Wait, someone's leaving the show?
Yeah, Jack at noon will not be on the show anymore.
Okay.
So at noon, Jack will be heading
just
to
for the day,
Wichita.
though.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll be back Wednesday. I mean, come on. This is the thing about this show. People do not leave it. Once they're a part of it, it's a lifer. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like years and years and years and years of, or months, whatever, part of the show. No, Dylan, you made the announcement this morning. You put that out on the Twitterverse that today is your last show.
It is, yes. It is. It's sad to say, but yeah, in the post, I am moving into a different field. I won't be on radio anymore, fortunately for the listeners, but unfortunately for me. Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun working for this show and this station, and I tried to put that tweet out and send all the texts out so I didn't have to, talk about it and get a little emotional about it. But it's tough. It's tough because I really enjoyed working for you and this show, and it's been a blast. It's hard to call it work.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that'll be the most missed thing for me is that I get to work with a bunch of like fun people in sports all the time. So. But I am going into a different avenue. I'm going into a sales and business development role for a waste to energy solutions division in CERC. So I am excited for that.
Yeah, and Dylan's going to kill it because whatever he goes into, he's going to be successful at. He's one of the hardest working people that I know. Any task that I have said, hey, Dylan, can you do this? It gets done. I will say that. And he has been really awesome to work with. Dylan, you are one of the best people that I know, and great, times being around you, getting to know you the last couple of years. It's been a blast to be around Dylan Michaels. So the show is better because he was on the show the last couple of years.
Will you still come back for Halloween for our outfits?
I think I've pigeonholed myself into that.
I mean,
fortunately.
Didn't you already come up with next year's?
I
had
did
the
already.
idea. You can't leave. What are you doing?
As a bald man, it is like Halloween is like Christmas for us. I mean, we don't have to put the cap on or anything, and we have an abundance of costumes. So
that's right.
Bald man with a luscious beard. There's so many ways you can go.
Exactly. So I think so. I think I do have to stop by and make my presence known with authority, as one might say, for Halloween, because we have done a great job over the past couple of years.
Yeah, Breaking Bad 2 years ago, and this last year having the Peaky Blinders. That was a lot of fun. We'll see what next year. It was Dylan's idea for what next year's going to be, so he does have to return.
And that's how unprepared or foreseen this was.
Yeah.
This is quite a change. So that's what I mean. I was just thinking about football season and Halloween and all that stuff coming up. So it's quite a change, but I'm excited.
We'll miss two things. Well, many things, but. Who are we going to go to for our Dylan?
Who was a practice squad player for the Browns in 1976?
This random player in 1965 that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Of course, yep. Or Niners.
Or Niners, either one. Can you who was that? He wore like number 73 or whatever. Who is that?
As Kyle said on Twitter, who's going to mark, I'll always be there. I'm like the Jedis and the campfire or the, Chubbs and the alligator and Abraham Lincoln up in the sky. Like, I'll always be there, if you need me.
Awesome. Yes. And
you're my Chubbs.
Yep.
And then also going to, you know what, Dylan, this pitcher thing came up. What is what goes through your mind if you're we need our we pick his brain for pitching, aspects and also random NFL factoids.
Yep. Jim Abbott will live on through you.
Yes.
I watched the E60 last night.
Yes.
It was
the amount of
as Soren called it, required viewing for the zone.
By the way, I was so excited to see what obstacles he overcame in his life.
Yeah.
They were like the Jim Abbott throwing this no-hitter. I'm like, oh, there's a story behind this? Well, let me check it out. Let me see what this whole thing is about, And
as I was saying, unfortunately, a lot of people in graphic design are losing their jobs to AI, and they had to do that for his cover of it, and they missed a hand.
Yeah.
So
His right
unfortunately,
hand
you could tell that picture was AI.
It's
So.
great by Dylan. It's like, this picture is not real. Like, it's missing a right hand. So clearly AI has produced this picture. Yeah, that's
No, I'm well aware of who Jim Abbott is now. That's for sure.
as you should be. It's amazing, like every detail of NFL football over the last 50 years, and then like something like that for baseball. And the guy was a pitcher in college.
One of the most well-known baseball things of all time.
Threw a no-hitter and coming up playing at Michigan, and drafted early, and all the things.
That'd be like
that he went
someone
through.
coming to me and be like, "Did you hear about this Bo Jackson guy? He played football and baseball in the NFL."
Turns out he came back from the hip injury and played for the
Yeah.
White Sox. I didn't know that Bo had a hip injury. I was.
Have you heard of this Patrick Mahomes? His dad actually was a major league pitcher. So.
Willie Cauley-Stein played football in high school, so I don't know if you know this, but he was like
Chris Hogan
7
played
foot.
lacrosse. Didn't know if you knew that.
Yeah, There's a lot of things that people need to realize.
But that
and
is
find
my
out about.
gift back to you. Is
Thank
that
you.
we don't have to do all those. We just have Jim Abbott now. We can
We'll always have Jim
we
Abbott.
can just say Jim Abbott.
That's right. Anytime Dylan comes up, it's like, oh, you know Jim Abbott? Did you realize that he threw a no-hitter? He only had one hand.
One hand. That was my best.
That was
that was learned. Or
that was the learned.
Either one, I'd learned it that day. So whether it was
And
best or not.
I loved how you presented it in that. Look, guys, I don't know if I'm like out of the loop on this
It was
or if this is like
completely genuine.
well known, but and that was the best part, is that it was just completely
genuine.
Had no idea that this took place, and very well known. And since then, we've said, I don't know if this is a Jim Abbott situation, but I learned this over the weekend.
And I'm always quick to say it's not. I mean, like I said,
promise you
it has to be on the level of
There's gonna be
someone has to say truly. Did you know Patrick Mahomes' dad was like a relief pitcher? That would have to be the level of that have to come out of someone's
There
mouth.
is a high bar to clear to get to the
Very
Jim
high
Abbott.
bar.
Can we get like a painting of Dylan in here, and underneath it just says Dylan Jim Abbott Michaels?
I mean, AI could make me and Jim Abbott like arm in arm at the Yankee Stadium right
Which
now.
arm,
So
though?
If we could
Well,
get
not hand
we're
in
gonna-
hand.
Well,
Well,
that's-
his left hand and Dylan's right hand.
There you go. There you go.
What they pitch with.
We could get the intern on that.
I feel like we could
Just
put it
AI
just
drawing.
above the backdrop over here, just Dylan's face,
It'd be great.
like a saber or something in his hand.
Yeah, what's
My
great about
mural.
what's great about Dylan is if you said, "Hey, Dylan, let's get a painting or a picture. Let's find somebody to do this for you." In like 2 or 3 days, he would have it done. Whereas like 7 months ago, we said to Sterling, "Hey, let's actually do this helmet sticker thing."
Okay, I've been waiting on the helmet.
And-
It's not my
and I'm just
fault.
like,
I have the stickers.
Dylan-
who made the stickers?
Dylan, do you have?
does.
Do we
I
have,
have the
Do
stickers.
we have a helmet sticker? Do we have a helmet
I
here? to
haven't
put the helmet
seen
sticker?
one.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I
It's
have the stickers.
I
I've
had-
shown said stickers to you.
looking around
heard
for
of
this.
I have. I think
helmet
it's still my
sticker
bag. You know
idea.
what? I think it's still my bag over here. I'm gonna get my bag.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. Go.
What's in the bag?
What's
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the What's in the bag? What's in the? Cool. Great. What do Jack? I'll ask you this real quick. What do helmet stickers go on?
Helmets.
Okay. So what is a helmet sticker without a helmet?
A sticker.
It's just a sticker.
Well, I'm
All
not
you have in
spending
your
that
ba-
much money on a helmet. They're expensive.
You have a backpack.
Okay, Rydell has a monarchy
You just have
monopoly on helmets.
But you don't have helmet stickers in your backpack. You just have stickers.
There's also an 810 helmet in the hallway.
Where? I found I found my sunglasses.
In the glass.
It's like, oh, hey, there's my sunglasses I've been
stickers.
missing.
Stickers right here.
Those are just
Stick 'em up.
Those are
They
just
have like a
420
really
stickers.
nice like 810 Revolution helmet in the.
Yeah, those are
glass
just
case.
810.
Well,
You
I've
just have
asked
stickers
Chad to steal that, and Chad says yes, but
Oh, he said yes?
but I'm not gonna go there without him handing me said helmet.
He said yes already. What do you want him to hold your hand?
Yeah.
Spoon feed it.
Well, I can't. Well, he's not Jim Abbott, so yes, I'll hold either hand.
You want him to just go over and unlock the thing for you, take it out, hand it to you, gift wrap it there? You want an invitation? You want him to send you an email for there to be documented?
The ribbon cutting.
I found airplane snacks. I'm just going to my bag now. I have a whole bunch of fun stuff in here.
Well, see,
Apparently,
that will also be my lasting legacy. I'll just go grab that helmet out of the glass case and I'll give it to you.
that would be awesome.
Best
That
by
would be-
23.
Dylan on his way out just punches
My
the glass.
unscrewing of the cubicle there.
Just punches the glass,
Yeah.
takes the helmet out, and puts it in here, and we actually start putting helmet stickers
Hey,
on
Chad,
there
I didn't
for
receive my last
good
paycheck
ideas.
for some
You know what?
reason. I
Fine.
don't know.
You know what? We'll do it. I'm going to get that helmet by the end of the show because I have said stickers.
Oh, okay, finally. All it took was Dylan
No,
leaving
I got
to,
these custom made.
Exactly.
to Sterling following through.
Look,
He
I
did
got-
actually. Now that
I got these
remember this.
custom made immediately.
They're actually nice.
Thank you. I did a fine job on these, and they fit. They're not cut off. I think sometimes
Okay.
stickers can get cut off. These were not.
I think
Okay.
it'd be hilarious to like put it on your head as we're doing the show. Like we just stick it on the back of like Sterling's head or
Yeah.
wherever.
You got to
wanna
wear
put
the
it.
helmet, and then they slap the sticker
Well, no,
on you.
but
I
right
just think
now,
it'd be funny,
Yeah.
if we were just sitting around with like Buckeyes all over us.
well,
like,
right now, that's the only thing we can stick it on right now is the head because we
Right,
don't have
we
an
don't have a
actual
helmet.
Not this
helmet
lettuce.
to do that. We don't have a helmet to do that, Sterling. Okay. I like how he's like, fine, I'm going to get it done. I mean, you're challenging me that it's been like 8 months since we said this. You're going to challenge me to get it done right now after there's a baby being born by the time we said let's get helmet stickers. You're going to challenge me now?
Almost.
You're going to challenge me now?
Almost being born. I was premature, I guess. So maybe some babies would have been born by then.
Yeah.
But look, I got the stickers. I
Good
did
for
the
you.
hard part.
Is that the hard
I
part?
did my
No.
due diligence.
No, your due diligence was you said, I'm going to get the helmet and the helmet sticker. I'm going to take care of this. All right,
Okay,
great.
and then I looked at prices of helmets, and I go,
you
this
did
is
the,
absurd.
You did the more difficult of the two tasks.
Thank
The
you.
helmet's over there.
The helmet I could have
The
just
helmet's
stole.
right over there.
I think for Sterling, the more difficult one was going to Chad and saying, hey, can I have that helmet that's there?
In fairness, yeah, that's a,
I did. I asked thrice.
And
But
he said yes all three times.
he
and you
said yes
still
all 3
have
times.
yet to get
but-
it. What do you want, a fourth yes?
I want to figure out how to get in there. Okay? I'm not breaking the glass.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it. That seems like an inefficient
I'll
way.
just ask. Actually, I'll just say, hey, do you have the
Yeah.
key? No,
For-
I'll grab it.
Can't imagine there being
That's how it
anybody in
usually
this
works.
anybody in this office that would have a key to that thing to be
Well,
able
I
to
don't
grab
know.
the
Maybe.
helmet,
Maybe I lost the key.
so I love Dylan's lasting
You're asking for that,
legacy
yeah,
will
right.
be coming
Grabbing a
through
helmet.
and getting the helmet for us.
You're asking about it like it's the Bolitnikoff trophy we have over there. Like,
Well-
so I would have to ask for that 3 times and still maybe not grab.
Well,
And
you know
still
what,
would be a
Dylan?
no.
You'll get a sticker. If you get the helmet, you'll get a sticker before you go.
The first sticker goes to Dylan.
No, I get one for creating the stickers in the
Wow.
game.
Of course, he gets 2.
Wow, the first sticker goes to Sterling because.
Well, credit to me for coming up with the idea.
I mean, did you though?
Well, like probably Michigan or Ohio State did, but
Okay. Yeah, that's probably.
but
where
credit to me for stealing it.
the helmet sticker. You know what they should do? They should put stickers on helmets just to show like accomplishments for individual players. That'd be pretty cool. You know what? We should do it in the show. We should have helmet stickers here for the show.
Better yet, we should put stars on kids' name tags at like the 1st and 2nd grade level, and it'll show like if they're doing a good, just
100%.
thought process of
Yeah,
where that
absolutely.
probably came from.
Yep. And then like
Helmet sticker.
and like take away recess if they do something wrong,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
some merits.
What did I do wrong?
demerits.
You're taking my producer away. What did I do wrong, Dylan? Is it my fault?
Yes.
Is it my fault?
No,
Yeah.
no. We just grew apart.
That's right. So Dylan's final day. He's gonna crush it where he heads to, and
I'm gonna miss it too. But
yeah,
Yep.
he'll be back. Are you still doing some Chief stuff?
We'll see. I'm hoping to, and if I am allowed to do the Chiefs post game still, I will do the Chiefs post game. But
Okay. We'll see.
TBD.
All right.
TBD.
TBD. We'll take a timeout, come back, and we'll look at the Major League Baseball draft, what took place yesterday, getting underway here in a little bit for the final rounds of this draft. Used to be 3 days. Now it's only 2 days. Fine, whatever. They'll figure it out. We'll also get into an assessment of the Royals at the All-Star break, Royals all-time All-Star team, home run derby predictions, Trey Smith's contract, Joel Penfield at noon, Mick Schaefer 1 o'clock, learn funniest best, more zone next. Jason. Yeah, I know. Tex says, Jason runs off another employee. Must be a real ball buster. Sterling, work in salt bath into the broadcast if you're being held hostage against your will.
Salt bath.
Oh, man.
You know, I have high cholesterol because I love salt. I don't take baths.
Okay, yeah. No, I
Does
doubt
that
it.
work if there's a couple of words in
No,
between?
you
or
got a little bit of time to work
It was
that
a
in.
sentence, yeah.
It was a sentence. That's right. Tex says, more importantly, did Dylan watch The Southpaw last night, The Life and Legacy of Jim Abbott?
Who's that?
Did you watch it?
I did not. No.
Tex,
Like I told you guys, I have been inundated with about 100,000 hours of Jim Abbott stuff since that day on my
Yeah.
timeline. So
He's gonna be.
I think I've seen a 10-part documentary.
He's gonna write a book on Jim Abbott.
Yeah.
He's
All
gonna be
about
the
his
new
life.
the new documentary by Dylan Michaels.
all about his life.
The memoirs.
Avery says, I'll miss you, Big D. So there you go.
I'll miss Avery. You know,
Yeah.
handing him $25 every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny's.
And then a number of texts coming in about Pretty Ricky. Text says, Dylan. No. A lot of O's. So they are sad that you're leaving. Text says, center field AO. We'll see. We'll see if anybody has AO in center field
Ooh.
coming up at
But-
11 o'clock.
We'll get to that, I guess, when we get to 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I have some questions about
Okay,
it.
great.
I did my research last night, but I have some questions. I have some secondary
Right.
ideas.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, let's hear from J.J. Piccolo. Yesterday, the Royals in their first round, and they drafted 5 players yesterday. The Royals did. And a couple of prep bats, and then some arms, 3 pitchers, 2 of them being college pitchers, and one of them being a prep pitcher, a high school arm that sounds like they had to go over slot 4 to get Cameron Millar. Is he related to Kevin Millar? I don't know. But his name is Cameron Millar. He does not play for the Red Sox, so it's not Millar. By the way, we were in Tahoe, and Kevin Millar was on the driving range, and Bethany was like, who is that guy? He looks familiar. I said, that's Kevin Millar. She's like, who? I said, it's Kevin Millar. I said, Kevin Millar? Oh, she's like, it's pronounced Millar? The whole time? No, he was a Red Sox. It's Kevin Millar. All right, let's move on. So Cameron Millar, who was drafted by the Royals in their last pick, but it certainly sounds like there is an overslot agreement for this kid to take him with the 97th pick in the draft. But let's hear from J.J. Piccolo on the first 2 picks, the 23rd pick and the 28th pick. Sean Gamble, the outfielder out of IMG. He played shortstop, but they announced him as an outfielder. And then Josh Hammond, the third baseman out of North Carolina, that is also a high school kid. Here's J.J. Piccolo drafting 2 prep players in the first round.
If you think about the type of game we want to play, we want to be athletic. We want to utilize speed. That's really what our identity is. And when you look at Sean with his ability to run, Brian already said, and we look at him as a potential leadoff hitter down the road. And then Hammond with the power. There are 2 things that you covet. But I think if you look around the major league game right now, and take a look at this All-Star game and look at previous All-Star games, there's a lot of impact that high school picks make on our major league game. And you got to take into consideration they're 17 and 18 years old. These 2 in particular have played at a very high level, have been exposed to, I'll say, better baseball just because of the summer circuits they were on, and they excelled. So when you look at again, going back to the identity, what we want in players and the athleticism, and then you look at the projections on them, the upside, with the ability to put the ball in play, it's all a really healthy combination, and it's exciting. I mean, it's very exciting. Without naming names, I was going back through, drafts over, I'll say back the last 15 to 18 years, teams that had 2 picks, there are some really good high school players that were taken in the ranges that we were picking today. So it was clearly, that was the strength of the draft. There were so many high school shortstops taken. And, we were fortunate to get not necessarily a shortstop, but guys that are athletic and in the same mold as those other good athletes and those good young high school players. So it's just, I keep saying it's exciting, but that's what it is. You can, I'll say, dream on these guys. There's certainly guys, if they went to the college game next year, we think they have immediate impact in the college game, and that's why they get selected where they did.
Obviously, the baseball draft is different than the NFL draft. Although the last couple of years, as we've talked about, that high school bats and arms have made it to the big leagues pretty quickly, and they're already talking about a couple of guys that could make it to the big leagues pretty quickly out of this draft. Certainly Gage Wood, that was drafted later for the Phillies, that could be in the bullpen in the next month or two.
Yeah.
That would be like, I guess not month or two, but maybe in the next month, that would be like their July 31st trade deadline acquisition because they need help in the
David Price,
bullpen.
they're Finnegan, they're
Right.
I'm sure there's another one I'm missing, but yeah.
Yeah. Who was it? It was another arm a couple of years ago that came up in the first round and was a
Skeens?
bullpen. No, it was a bullpen guy in
okay.
that
Still pitching?
yeah, I think maybe it was the Angels. No, that was Nolan Shanuel for the Angels.
Ben Joyce was for the Angels.
Yeah,
and
Ben
then-
Joyce was also really quick.
But there was somebody that was drafted. I think I'm going to say 23 draft that came up in like.
Are you thinking of a hitter?
No, I think it
I'm
was a
thinking
pitcher.
Langford, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be almost
Rangers.
all Angels. Zach Neto was going.
But no, it was called up because of help in the bullpen. Either way, high school guys are not that. We know even Bobby as the number 2 pick took a couple of years before he was up at the big leagues, drafted in 19, and then he makes his major league debut in 22. So these are guys certainly that will take a little bit to get to the big leagues. It's good that both of them were committed to big schools, baseball schools, I should say, that Sean Gamble committed to Vanderbilt and Josh Hammond committed to Wake Forest. Should also point out the high school pitcher that they have committed to Arizona to play baseball, which if you're going to be drafted in the top 100, you probably have a lot of offers as a high schooler to go different places. Again, Sean Gamble was announced as a high school or as an outfielder, a 70 grade run, so should be able to cover a lot of ground in center field. Here's Keith Law's write-up on Sean Gamble. I want to read both the Sean Gamble and Josh Hammond for Jonathan Mayo and also Keith Law. Jonathan Mayo for MLB.com, Keith Law for The Athletic. He writes on Sean Gamble, pick number 23, his live blog analysis. There was some talk that Sean Gamble's commitment to Vanderbilt and his age, 19, it's older for a high school kid. Typically, like you see, Royals will probably take a younger guy like Blake Mitchell. That age and commitment to Vanderbilt might make him unsignable despite having some of the best pure tools in the high school class. Royals have multiple extra picks, so if Gamble wanted more than slot, they have the flexibility to get it done. They announced him as an outfielder, which is where he belongs and where his plus speed might make him superior defender and center. He's also got some sneaky power that doesn't always show up because his swing is flatter than it should be. There's 20/20 upside here. At least I think his path will be a little easier now that he's off the dirt. His scouting report on Sean Gamble. Gamble's a 70 runner with above average bat speed, probably needing to move to center field in pro ball, who will need some swing help to tap into more power. He's more athlete than hitter right now, with a flatter swing that doesn't loft the ball a ton, and he tends to open his front hip early, so he doesn't always square the ball up like he should. He could easily see a 20/20 upside here, or 20/40 in the right organization, 20 home runs, 40 stolen bases, but as a guy who takes longer to reach the majors than the very top high school position players do.
Oh, so good. So the Royals, he needs some help lifting the ball and showing power, so he'll be hitting ground balls to second base in no time.
Well, I mean, they do have the highest launch angle, and they just take a guy with Jack Caglione, a launch angle, and turn him into ground ball hitter, and Jonathan Indy into fly ball hitter. So this guy who hits ground balls, they're going to turn him into a pop-up machine probably. No, he's committed to Vanderbilt, but because of his age, he's actually eligible after his sophomore year to come out in the draft, which is why they thought maybe he would be tough to sign because he would only have to go to Vanderbilt for 2 years and then be drafted again. And if he goes to Vanderbilt and is immediately an outfielder, center fielder, maybe second baseman, is batting near the top of the lineup for Vanderbilt for 2 years, maybe he's a top 10 pick in 2 years and he bets on himself. Who knows? Either way, the Royals, the way the Major League Baseball draft goes now, you don't draft a guy if you don't think you're going to sign him.
You're saying it could have been a gamble?
You could say that drafting him with the 23rd pick was a risk. Jonathan Mayo writes of Sean Gamble, there was so much talk about how scouting director Brian Bridges loves high school pitching that it seemed too easy to project lefty Cruz Schoolcraft here. But he did take Jack Caglione last year, and the organization took hitters first in the 2 drafts before that. Gamble gives off Bryson Stott vibes, I'll take it, and has the chance to be a very good hitter with good speed. He's been very good defensively at second base and in center field, and he was announced as an outfielder. That's the breakdown on Sean Gamble. On Josh Hammond, Keith Law writes, and this is the third baseman, right-handed hitter from North Carolina, the one with crazy power, and looks like he'll probably stay at third base. Hammond was 28th on my boards. Keith Law, coincidentally, as a two-way player, is going to be a strong defender on the left side of the infield and may end up plus on-base percentage guy with 20 homer power. It's a heck of a 1-2 punch of high upside high school bats for the Royals. Talking about Gamble and Josh Hammond. Keith Law scouting report on Hammond. He's a two-way player right now, but his pro future is at third base, who hits for power. Excellent athlete with plus raw power and a 70 arm. Moving well at shortstop in high school with the potential that he'll just get too big for the position, end up as a plus defender at third. His approach is the main question, great, and what it implies about his future hit tool. He doesn't swing and miss much, but he will follow breaking stuff out of the zone, especially right on right. Boy, that is perfect for the Royals. Hammond can show bat speed but not bat control, with the hope that he improves as he fills out, particularly if his wrists and forearms get stronger. He can maintain his bat path more through the zone. 20 homer power and the chance for solid on-base percentage somewhere on the left side of the infield. He's committed to Wake Forest. Jonathan Mayo writes of him, Hammond was a talented two-way guy that some teams initially preferred on the mound. He wanted to hit, then went out and proved he belonged there, representing one of the better prep left-handed power bats in the class. So there we go. Jack, your assessment of taking these two guys. They have, the quicker the big leagues have been a lot of the college bats, and Laviolette was there that in February was like, is he going to be the number 1 pick in the draft? And then he goes out there and has 14 fewer homers this year than last year, and his batting average drops by like 45 points or so. He's a sub 300 hitter in college, which typically doesn't translate well to the big leagues, but a guy that people thought, power bat, outfielder, maybe the Royals will take him because quicker to the big leagues, they take these two prep players. What do you think of the strategy that seemed like it was pretty much prep arm or prep bat the whole time?
Yeah, this was the route that I was hoping they were going to go, because anytime you're taking, past the first 20 picks, there's no surefire thing.
Yeah.
In fact, anybody outside of the top 5, you really feel like it still is going to have to have a few things go right for that player to turn into something. And so when you're taking someone at 23 and you're taking someone at 28, I'd always prefer for them to go the higher upside, which maybe has a lower floor, where you might have a big-time prospect, a prep bat, a prep pitcher, but if they don't work out, they might be a guy that doesn't get past, double-A. We've seen it before, and this won't be the last time we see it in this draft, where there's just guys that don't make it from the prep ranks to the pros and are a big-time player. However, there really wasn't anybody on the board other than Schoolcraft, and then I really like Devin Taylor out of Indiana, but Devin Taylor went second round to the Athletics. So clearly, everybody felt that he was not first-round material, and I thought that he might be one of those last-minute risers on the board, might be able to go somewhere 25 to 30. But these were two guys that were constantly mocked to the Royals. And where you go with these two prep bats, I like Hammond a little bit more than Gamble.
Me too.
Mainly because of what he could become. You've got a plus defender at third base, big-time arm, big-time power. He's already 6'1", 210. You get to maybe that 6'1", 225 range. You got a bulky third baseman. Not quite Austin Riley, which the only reason I say that is because Brian Bridges came over from Atlanta.
And that's been the comp for Josh Hammond, has been like he feels like an Austin Riley type player.
And you get that size, you get that power. As much as we all love Maikel Garcia, we know that his bat doesn't really fit the profile of a third baseman. But with Gamble, I surely hope they try him in center field over second base. I would rather have a higher value position guy out there with the speed. The bat could turn into something, but with these prep bats and with prep pitchers, it's always the risk. However, 23 and 28, no matter who you took there, whether it was a college bat, even someone like Aloy, who went to Baltimore, the Golden Spikes Award winner at Arkansas, it's not a sure thing that he turns into something. I mean, he was somebody that fell 10 to 15 picks from where he was originally mocked. So with Gamble and Hammond, you got the big-time upside there. There's always going to be some question with prep bats and prep pitchers about certain things they need to improve on. But if they develop them properly, and the good thing is they can take their time.
Yep.
Don't look to next year or the year after that as they got to be there. Take your time with these players, and by the time they're 21, 22, 23, that's when you can kind of pencil them in as maybe your top prospect in the system.
Well, I know we haven't seen a ton of success with the bats in the majors, but the minors, it feels like they have done a nice job developing to an extent, right? And pitchers, we know, I'm totally okay with them getting more of a raw player with the higher upside, because what have they done with a lot of these pitchers? It's been very, very impressive. I'm not saying you're a finished product when you come out of college at 21, but still when you're 18, 19, more time with the pitching staff in the minors for KC. I mean, it's time to really give them some flowers, because, I mean, you've seen guys time and time again come up and really impress. I know it's not going to work for every single player. I know they're not going to get every single guy to come up and tap into all of their potential, but I still like the thought process there. Bats are a little different situation, but even with the bats, we've seen a lot of guys thrive in single A, double A, triple A. It's the majors where we've seen some of the slowdown, but I mean, you look at what they've done. I kind of like the younger route, especially for this particular draft.
Keith Law put out his favorite draft classes from the first day. He listed 4 teams. Obviously, the Royals one of them, or we wouldn't talk about it. The 4 teams that he listed, St. Louis, Baltimore, Boston, and Kansas City. Although tons of people in Baltimore couldn't stand the Baltimore draft because they took catchers.
Two more
catchers. And
2 more
like,
catchers.
This is so dumb. Why aren't they taking pitching? So he writes about the Kansas City Royals. So Kansas City had a great trio to start off its draft with 2 big upside plays and Sean Gamble at pick number 23. A slight reach for me, but because I think the probability is lower. And Josh Hammond at 28, followed by a 2-way player Michael Lombardi as a pitcher at 61. Gamble's a very fast center fielder who needs swing help to get the ball in the air. Hammond was a 2-way player as well, who's going to be a shortstop or third baseman with power and feel to hit. Lombardi will benefit from focusing full-time on pitching, and the Tulane right-hander was getting a lot of attention late in the spring as it became clear he might be a starter in pro ball. And that's one of the things that Brian Bridges talked about. He was asked about Michael Lombardi. Is he going to be a reliever? That he spent most of his time the last couple of years of being a reliever or a starter. He's also started and said, let's listen in. This is a clip number 7. Brian Bridges was asked about Michael Lombardi, a guy who's been a reliever. And if he stays a reliever, college reliever, maybe he helps this year in the bullpen. Or is this more the long-term play for him as a starter?
We met with him at the combine, and all he talked about was putting the glove down and stretching out and becoming a starting pitcher in the major leagues. So very impressive young man, and we're very fortunate to get him. I would think probably he was going in that round right there. So our room loved him. There was a lot of love in there for him, and yeah, he's going to be a starter.
He says put the glove down. He doesn't mean his pitching glove. It means putting his positional player glove, because he was a 2-way player at Tulane, which is why he pitched out of the bullpen more.
You could just hire you. Yeah. Remember, you burned Cags' first base glove or pitching.
That's right.
Remember that?
No, right fielder. I wanted to burn his outfield.
Oh, his outfield glove.
Well, I wanted to do it on Sunday in the first inning, so but that's fine. He's been fine over there in right field. So there you go. There's the first 3 picks. I did want to point this out because Cameron Millar was the 97th pick. And it kind of felt like as the draft, at least when we heard from Bridges and J.J. Piccolo, that Millar was a guy that they had to go over slot for. They've done this before. Let's hear from Brian Bridges real quick, and I wanted to do these ridiculous numbers from Millar and just like absurd pitching numbers in high school. They're high school, but still. 97th pick in the draft. Here's Brian Bridges talking about the over slot money that they're going to have to figure out to get Cameron Millar to sign.
There will be some correction tomorrow, so I will have to make some correction. But we are very, very happy. Gary Wilson did a really good job of getting him to commit to signing with us. So I'm just as excited about him as I am anybody. When I flew out to California and NorCal, went to the game. I mean, he's got swagger to him, not in a bad way, but just it looks like he's already on TV. And the way he competed and went after hitters, you don't see young prep pitchers anymore with that type of mentality on the mound. So he's definitely one that gets after it, and we're very, very, very happy he's a Royal.
How much did his stock rise this spring just with that velo spike and what does that heater look like with him?
He has carry on his fastball. He's got a plus changeup. He's got at least a solid average slider. It's got really good shape to it. It's going to be probably, speaking of analytics, I've learned what a bullet slider is. So he's probably going to end up with a bullet slider. So, but like, again, great kid. You know, he's going to learn a lot from Nate and Paul Gibson. So it's good clay to mold.
Brian, how would you describe a bullet slider?
It's this is how it was told to me. It comes in and it kind of just dies right at the end. It's hard. He throws it about 84, 86 miles an hour, but that's the definition of a bullet slider.
I love that ending. That's the definition of a bullet
that was
slider.
PBS for a second.
And now the rest of the story. The bullet slider. It was a very quick. It comes in and then it just dies. That's the definition of a bullet slider. All right.
I was like, it wasn't even a great definition.
Yeah. Yeah.
But his confidence rang true.
But Cameron Millar, people were wondering about signability because he had such a burst this senior season going to Arizona that people thought he would go to Arizona, pitch 3 years, and be a top 10 pick, maybe. Because heading into a senior year, he went from 92-mile-an-hour fastball to a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, which is why you're going to have to go over slot for him. Here's his numbers his senior year, and then we'll take a break on this. He's such a stupid man. Senior year, he went 7-1, so he did have a loss somehow along the way. 64 innings pitched. He gave up 1 earned run. In 64 innings, that's a .1 ERA. 64 innings, 117 strikeouts. So a 50% strikeout rate. Senior year. Now, if he's throwing a slider at 84 to 86 and a fastball at 97, I can understand how high school kids were not hitting the ball. But he did not give up an extra base hit this year.
Wade Davis.
23 singles this year and 117 strikeouts in 64 innings off this kid who was committed to Arizona. And again, a late riser going from 92 mile an hour to his senior year in high school to 97 miles an hour. And the reason the Royals are going to have to pay over slot for him, as he said, they did a good job negotiating with him throughout the draft to figure out that they were going to get him signed. And the first thing that Brian Bridges said there was, I'm going to have to do some recalculation for tomorrow because we took him with our last pick and we know what it's going to take to sign him with our last pick, which means we got to adjust what our budget is for tomorrow, which is for today, because they're probably going to pay him a decent amount of money for him to sign to not go to Arizona, where he might spend 3 years as a guy that could in 3 years be throwing 100 with a slider in the mid-80s and a good changeup and might be a top 10 pick. And with the Royals' development in pitchers, the way that they have been doing that the last couple of years, there is sort of an excitement about him. I'm more excited about him. The two guys that excite me the most are Josh Hammond and Cameron Millar, and so far of the draft. We'll see. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We continue rolling. More Zone next. at each position that we would create an all-star game, all-star roster with for the Royals. Royals have made another selection in the 4th round. Nolan Sailors from Creighton, 4th-year senior outfielder. Bats left, throws right. So we'll see what and JJ Piccolo said last night about left-handed hitters. Said that we're not drafting somebody specifically because they're left-handed or right-handed, but is it preferred for them to be left-handed? Yeah, it's the better side of a platoon if they have to platoon. If it's a strictly platoon guy, left-handed hitter, it's a guy you're going to get more out of being a lefty. So we'll see. Feels a little bit like a signability pick, but we'll find out. first round. So, not a surprise there, I guess.
That has to be such an amazing feeling if
Yeah.
you're the dad, college baseball coach, and your son gets. I just feel like that has to be one of the greatest feelings.
Yeah.
Out
Just
there.
to hear your son's name. How about the Witherspoon twins that were both drafted yesterday? Both twin pitchers. that were
Incredible.
Both drafted number 15 and number 61 or something like that. That's pretty
I
awesome.
mean, think about the Holiday family.
Yeah, right.
Like, how fun is that for Matt Holiday and
Every
family?
couple of years,
Yeah.
you get. Well, also his son going to Colorado. Now this son going to
I
Colorado
didn't even
playing
think of that. That's
playing
a
for the
that's a great
Rockies.
point.
Yeah, so that's pretty because
And
typically
then the Cardinals probably after that.
Athletics, actually.
for sure.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
If you get drafted by the Rockies, typically it's like, oh, well, if you're a hitter, I guess. But as far as winning or trying to oh, that sucks. But for the Holiday family, it's like, holy bleep, dude, you just got drafted by the Rockies.
Just ask Jeremy Guthrie. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
He'll even admit it. He's like, I hated pitching in that.
That
place.
was one of my
Yeah.
favorite Jay Gut stories.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, you don't want to be a pitcher there in Colorado. All right, let's get into one of the things we wanted to do today, which was come up with our Royals all-time All-Star game lineup. And Sterling, you had some questions of clarification here.
Yes, correct. I have some questions.
Okay.
For pitchers, is it one pitcher? Is it a starting five?
No, it's one starting pitcher and one closer.
Okay. For outfield specifically, for example, do they have to play center
Yes.
field and right field? So I
Yes.
can't have three
Nope.
center fielders play.
No, it's not like it used to be back in the day.
That is absolute BS.
No, it's
I'm
not.
angry. I am so mad. I'm irate. I am livid because, quite frankly, I want to have two center fielders.
Well, you can't.
Maybe three.
No, you can't.
Well,
They didn't play center field. Then
I
they
don't
play
care.
center field.
I'm going to do it.
No, we got to go out and actually play a game here.
Well,
this is
they
real
can
life.
catch the ball.
No, I
They
don't
know how to
think they
catch
can.
the ball.
No, I don't think they can. I don't think so. I think you got to keep those guys in center field, right field, and left field. You have to have a specific one.
Fine.
At least that's how I did it. So therefore, everybody has to do it that way. If you had that question, maybe ask it yesterday when we were.
Michael Tucker, come on down, right fielder.
Why not? Why not? All right, so let's get into how do you want to do this? Do you want to do this by specific position player? Do you want to do it by? I mean, I don't know. We can create a batting order too if you want to do that way. I don't know if you guys created a batting order or not. But I just went position players, but I don't think it would be that hard to create a batting order here with the players that I have. Let's just go position players here. Catching. Salvi? Everybody Salvi?
Salvi.
I was gonna say, so we can all
Eric
have
Kratz.
the same ones.
No,
Yeah,
obviously.
we
It's
can all
like
have
you
the-
can't. It's like a draft where you take
It's not a
Salvi
draft.
and
Oh,
then we got to
shoot.
pick.
I'm stuck with Miguel Olivo.
I'll go Salvador Perez.
Yeah,
then.
no, it's Salvi, but it's a good question. Are we
Yeah.
drafting guys for these teams? No, we're not creating
We'd be
fantasy
here a while.
teams. We would be. Yeah, no, Salvi at catcher. Let's head over to first base. Hosmer.
I'm gonna go John Mayberry.
I like it. Mayberry and Hosmer were my back and forth. Even Balboni a little bit. Like, it just put him in the conversation because of the home run record that he had for a while.
I feel like you guys are just missing the obvious one. The leader in OPS for the Royals, Mike Sweeney.
Yeah, I mean,
He's the all-time leader in OPS for the Kansas City Royals, Mike Sweeney.
so I had him at a different position that I was putting him in the conversation with.
299, 369, 492 slug. Almost as many walks as strikeouts.
I had him.
He's what, second all-time on home runs for the Royals?
Yeah, I had him in a different position though.
Third.
just as we're.
I was gonna say I have him
him
somewhere
at,
else.
I have him at a different position. I don't have him at first base. I have him at a different.
You could have
position.
put Mike behind the plate if you wanted to.
We're really going. We did start an opening day at catcher. You know
So
what?
I'm doing Sweeney at first base.
Okay, that's fine. That might be a way to get a couple of guys in the lineup.
That's a little bit what I did.
I like that because I went back and forth at DH.
You
so
made me have to switch my mind very difficultly because
No, that's
your
fine.
right field, center field, left field nonsense.
That's fine.
And I'm trying to see if Carlos Beltran ever played a game in left field.
He's a center fielder. Second baseman.
I'm going.
I mean Omar, right?
I'm going Zobrist. I'm going
wow.
Ben Zobrist.
Oh,
here
1
for
year.
second
I
base.
don't know.
For that version, if I am just
Oh.
taking that version,
Yeah, I went Frank
That
White.
feels like a little bit of a cop out for 1 year because you can do a lot of 1 year. Chili Davis, congratulations, come on down. Like,
he played for him. He won a World Series with him.
come on.
What's the
Okay.
criteria? If you
That's
have
Jason. Jason.
It's their individual teams.
'Cause
This guy's selecting his all-star game, and if he wants Mizorowski with only 5 starts, that's his choice.
Oh, I feel like that's a little bit of a cheating move. I
wouldn't go with it. I disagree with that.
I feel like it's
Frank
against.
White.
I feel like it's against the heart of the game.
I would go.
Good
with
job,
so.
Rob. Good job, Rob Manfred.
It'd be one thing if he played like 10 games for the team.
He did win a World Series.
This guy was
for
in
him
the
and-
postseason, switch hitter.
I mean,
check tape.
I mean,
No,
collectively.
I love Zobers, but like, come on, how many games did he play total for the Royals?
Less than 100.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
That's
60.
kind of.
But we didn't establish that ground before we
We
started.
did not. No, we didn't. He played second base. That's his choice.
He played 59 games for the Royals.
That's
It was
regular
really
season,
good.
though.
Okay, so he played 59
postseason.
plus. He played 70-ish games for the Royals. Come on.
Right. He's got as many rings as Frank White does.
I am disgusted right now by this.
I am
Disgusted.
why? Because you went Frank White.
Also, I hate that too. Career 660 OPS, lovely.
He's
Greg
got
Zalonic could have gotten a few votes. He was very
Gruds.
underrated.
Grud Zalonic.
Gruds.
Omar was damn near an all-star for this team.
I actually almost went Whit Merrifield. I was back and forth between Whit and Frank
like
White. I went, I guess, Frank White. I'll bat him 9th.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of the, I know he was one of, if not the best defensive second baseman of all time,
Mm-hmm.
but you look back at some of the numbers, and again, I'm not quite old enough to watch him live, obviously, and when you look at some of the hitting numbers, I mean, they are bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad. I still will go Frank White over Whit because obviously at first base I have Sweendog is not the greatest offensive first baseman.
Yeah, you're going to need some defense there is what you're going with.
And so I went with my number 9 hitter, Frank White.
Yeah.
Defense first.
yeah, not the cleanup hitter as a second baseman in the World Series. Dylan,
And also, by
You
the way,
go
sorry,
Frank White?
really quickly, only 4 difference in stolen base numbers. Only 4 difference, and Frank White was caught over 2 times as many times as Whit Merrifield.
oh, nice.
I'm about to switch to Whit Merrifield right now.
Okay, all right. Dylan, what'd you go with the second base?
Second base, Frank White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was an easy one, but I appreciate the Ben Zobrist and Whit Merrifield
I think
talk.
I
And
actually.
honestly, Ben Zobrist is not a bad.
No,
thing.
it's a horrible answer. It is absurd. It is asinine. I am angry. I am irked.
Same amount of rings.
I've never.
Oh, we're gonna go by rings now. We're just gonna do the ringed argument. Robert Horry, Bill Russell. Oh, what are we doing here?
Third base, Christian Colon, same amount of rings as George Brett.
Yeah, come on. By the way, Whit Merrifield, I look more and more now, I think has a legitimate argument, okay? Just throwing this out there. And 1,500 fewer games. 4 fewer stolen bases. You look at the caught stealing numbers. I mean, the stolen base percentage for Whit is phenomenal. Frank White is atrocious. Batting average, offense, I mean, it's not even close. It's Whit Merrifield by a landslide.
I don't mind that. I don't mind the Whit Merrifield.
I think I would still go Frank White, but I didn't. I guess maybe I should have given more love to Whit Merrifield because it really is second base and shortstop. I know
Rings aren't the only thing, but they matter a little bit. I mean, I like it is encompassing in my opinion with the rings.
Well, let's talk about then. If
I'm
we
sure
wanna...
that'll come back to backfire.
No. I want to get
no,
into that
I know.
conversation here
I'm saying I said that
Yeah.
now, and I'm sure later I'll.
because let's go
Go against that.
to shortstop
But yeah,
because
it's a great point.
Buddy Biancalana has a.
Stop.
All right, so shortstops. Burrow has got a Rookie of the Year. All right, let's get into
Escobar
really.
is a ring.
stop.
Alcides, Escobar,
ALCS MVP.
or current.
Freddie Patek has 336
Hey,
stolen bases.
I love Freddie the Flea. You know that. I mean, I ain't gonna be discounting Freddie Patek here. I went with Bobby Witt. As much as I love Alcides and ALCS MVP, and he's got a World Series ring, and he played awesome shortstop and led off, and it was one of the best stories in that playoff run. I went with Bobby Witt as my shortstop. What'd you go with, Jack?
Yeah, it's got to be Bobby. Shortstop and third have to be the easiest picks we'll make all day.
See, I thought second base and third base were the easiest picks, quite frankly, but I love that there's some disagreement there at second base. Shortstop for you? Still?
yeah, it's
Bobby?
Bobby.
Okay. Dylan, Bobby? Okay,
Yep.
I thought we would, I'll be honest with you,
Bobby.
I was surprised we didn't have 4. I thought we would have 4 Frank Whites, and we would have 2 different shortstops. I thought one of the 4 of us would take Alcides.
I think that'd be silly.
Well, I don't disagree. I went with Bobby Witt, but there could be if there's a case being made for Ben Zobrist, I think there's certainly going to be a case that's made for Alcides Escobar.
Okay, hear me out.
Because he played longer.
George Brett played 12 games in left field in 1982.
Not happening. You really want to put Christian Cologne at third, don't you?
Well, he's rings. We're doing the ring argument, right?
You really want to put.
I'm actually going to put Gordon at third, and I'm going to put George Brett in left.
All-encompassing argument.
Yes.
I don't have Franklin Morales as my relief pitcher.
Yeah.
As good as he
But
was,
he
yeah,
does
all right.
have Kendrys Morales as his DH.
See, and for me, it would be like again, I go with Bobby Witt, but I did put Alcides Escobar in sort of the debate there as I wasn't really going back and forth, but I'm like, let me look at Alcides just to see if this is a spot that legitimately he could be placed at shortstop over Bobby Witt. And, career with the Royals, was a career 636 OPS guy. All right, in 8 years. That's not the, all-time shortstop that you're going to go with over Bobby Witt. But what he has over Bobby Witt is an 800 OPS in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we know about, getting the ring. He's an ALCS MVP. There's some hardware that goes along with that. Bobby Witt finished second in MVP voting, had the 2 game-winning RBIs against the Orioles, struggled against the Yanks in the divisional series. That's what we have to go off of right now is those, 6 playoff games that he played in. Whereas Alcides Escobar played in 31 playoff games for the Royals. 31 playoff games Alcides Escobar played in, which, by the way, is just unbelievable to think about. That he played in 31 playoff games. And those 31 playoff games, he had a 330 on-base percentage, he batted 311, and he OPS'd at almost 800. I mean, if we're talking about rings and postseason, I think there should be more credit given to Alcides Escobar. But again, I went Bobby. I still went Bobby Witt, but I think Alcides should be at least in the conversation.
Esky had a great career for the Royals. It's just been trumped so quickly by Bobby. I mean, he accumulated, looking at it right now, 8.2 WAR over 8 years, and Bobby did that more than in 1 year. Bobby had 10 wins above replacement last year.
Yeah.
But what was so underrated about parts of his game, A, was what he did in the postseason, but B, his durability. I mean, he played every single game the time.
Yeah, and Bobby's on his way to doing that too.
Yes.
I don't like how he did shortstop before third base.
Because 6 over 5.
Because number,
Yeah, I was just going around the diamond.
enough.
I get it. That's fine.
Unless we all just because it's all just George Brett. I guess we can. That's the
I kind of felt like
Joe Randa.
I honestly felt like shortstop would be more of a debate than third base. I, almost thought about going, hey, let's get second base, third base, and catcher out of the way, guys. We can move on. But clearly, I'm glad we didn't do that with second base because we had Ben Zobrist and Whit Merrifield. I'm going to put you down for Whit Merrifield because I like that argument. I love that.
Fine,
discussion.
put me down for Whit.
Yeah, Frank White with Dylan and I.
I guess
Well,
fine.
we all have Salvi. We all have Bobby. Dylan, did you have? I'm sorry, I didn't write it down.
George at third.
But at first base, did you have Hosmer?
Oh, yeah.
Hosmer. Okay, so 3 of us had Hosmer.
I had
and
Mayberry.
What's that?
I had Mayberry.
Mayberry. Sorry, Mayberry, Hosmer, Sweeney.
The highest OPS in Royals history. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's wait.
DH is there.
We're gonna get there with Sween Dog. Third base, Christian Cologne.
Christian Cologne is hitting 1,000 in the postseason.
Michael Garcia.
All-star.
All-star. Michael Garcia. Oh, the Joker. I forgot about the Joker. Joe Randa, my third baseman. Okay, that's what. Am I forgetting somebody? So we're all got George Breton as third base, batting third. Great, fantastic. Do you want to go left to right, Sterling, or would you like to start in center and then left field, right field? I don't know.
You can choose.
Let's just go 7, 8, 9 here. Left field. I kind of feel like this was an easy one. Gordo.
It has to be Gordo for sure. I tried my best to look back and see if there was, like, if AO or if Willie Wilson had played enough and left, or Kane never did. Kane
Well,
was
according to
center and right.
according to your
Hey,
estimations,
I-
Amos Otis played 12 games in 1981 in left field.
I gotta be
So you're gonna
honest.
put AO
I
in
don't
left?
know if I've ever heard someone hate Ben Zobrist more.
I
than
love
you.
Ben Zobrist, but it's
feel like
against
you're-
the spirit of the game.
I feel like you're projecting now, Sterling. I
It's
feel like
against
you,
the
you
spirit
went
of
on
the
record.
game.
You went on record of how much you hate Ben Zobrist, and the immediate pushback
I love Ben Zobrist.
has now had you just completely reversing course and saying that you love Ben Zobrist.
I
Pick a side.
Yeah,
Pick
seriously.
a side.
I'm,
Either
I'm
love him or
on
you
a
hate him.
side. I love Ben Zobrist, but you got to play 100 games. You got to play
Well,
three
that-
seasons.
That should have been established before we
Three
started.
seasons as a minimum.
Yeah, we didn't establish that.
3-season minimum.
But we definitely established that you have to play that specific position in the
Okay, then I
outfield
get.
to be-
Do I get to pick the 09 Grinke year? Oh, I get to pick 1 year out.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay. If that's what you want,
Well,
sure.
that seems like it's against the.
Well, then that should have been laid the groundwork before the game started. Left field's
Yeah.
Gordon for me.
That's Gordon.
Gordo.
Yep.
Gordo. Center field,
This one's fun.
I'm
There
gonna
were-
take the
there was-
graphic.
there was two choices for me.
The graphic. I feel like I'll take Beltran.
I went Beltran.
As weird as that is, but yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going Willie Wilson in center.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm
Okay.
going
I
Willie
like
Wilson
it.
in
It's
center.
not
All
bad.
right. I
I
thought
like
there
it.
were three choices in center. Beltran, see, and it's interesting you went Willie because I thought there were three choices in center because I didn't put Willie in center.
put
to
him in
me,
right?
it was I put him in right.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it was it was Beltran, Kane, and Ao. Not in that particular order. Those were the center fielders for me that I was debating, and I went with depending on the generation. Because there are plenty of people of a certain age that would say Ao is the greatest center fielder in Royals history, and I totally get that. I'm going with my personal preference of somebody that was my favorite player watching when he was with the Royals, and I just wanted to watch him play every single day as much as I could, and just watching him cover ground in the outfield. I went Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, I went Beltran too. It was really tough. That's why I actually was saying.
To me, that was one of the bigger debates that I had was Ao and Beltran.
Well, that's
AO
why I
and
wanted to put
Beltran.
AO. I was considering putting AO in left field.
I see what you're saying.
And that's
yeah.
why I wanted to get both in there.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Gordo is so deserving.
Yeah.
But that's why, because I couldn't. That to me was the toughest battle was AO and Beltran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that to me was my most difficult one. Jack, you went Willie Wilson, center field?
I went Willie Wilson. Honestly, the three for me, as much as I did love Beltran, it would have been either AO, Kane, or Willie Wilson me. But that's because I put Willie in center. If you guys are going to be putting Willie Wilson in right, that's the easy way to go about it. But I know that the right fielder that I have for me is not going to be either of your guys' right fielder if you're going Wilson.
Well, and I am really
You know who I'm
interested
going
to
with.
hear what the.
I know it's probably not going to be the guy that I'm picking.
Is it going to be a World Series MVP in right field for you?
Alex Rios.
It's not.
Paulo Orlando. I saw him at the Royals game yesterday. Paulo Orlando.
And when I say that answer, I'll be able to provide some of the numbers here as to why I think.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So right field. What are we going with?
I'll go first because mine might be controversial, I guess, if Sterling's counting tenure. I'm going to go Bo Jackson.
Like it.
I'm going to have to find a spot for Bo Jackson because I feel like I was going to go Johnny Damon. I was going to go, like you said, Amos
Yeah.
Otis. But, yeah, I got to find a spot for Bo Jackson just because of the fame and what he really did on the field when he was healthy.
Yeah, let me backtrack a little bit.
I can't put AO in right field. Not allowed, apparently.
Yeah, let me backtrack a little bit.
We can't. Can't do AO in right.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting Kane in right.
Yeah, let me backtrack a little bit.
I know who I have in right.
4 in center. Beltran, Kane, Ao, and Willie.
Yeah.
I chose Beltran as my pick in center field. Now that I'm relooking at my list, Willie's not in my outfield, which is probably a mistake for me. But anyway, Sterling right field.
Yeah, he's not in mine. I wanted to put Willie Wilson out there, but I went Danny Tartable in right field.
That's who I went to. I went.
Oh, okay.
I went Tartable.
I thought you guys were all going Willie in right field, but yeah, Danny
Yeah.
Tartable in
Yeah.
right field. Numbers are for that time in Kansas City are ridiculous.
Yeah, I went. So It's interesting. You had Ben Zobrist at second base, and I was like, I don't know that you thought that you would be out on an island with that. Probably should have. But then you're like, right field, I'm going to have somebody nobody else has, and the three of us
Did they have that on the MLB? Was Tartable the right fielder for the official Royals All-Star?
I don't know. Did they have that?
I actually have no idea.
Because that would have been...
No, because I think they just did 3 outfielders, if I'm not mistaken.
Where was that at? Sorry.
I thought they just did 3 outfielders.
I want to say it was like some MLB Network or something that did the outfielders, but was Tartable in right? I want to say Wilson was in center and then Gordon was in left. I can't remember who
and
it
I
was.
think Beltran's like, I think they literally just did 3 outfielders. That's why
Okay.
I had that question of.
Yeah. No, I don't know why I said Willie in right, because I'm looking at my list here, and it's Tartable in right.
So we all 3 had that.
Yep. And Dylan, you had who in right field? You had Willie?
Bo.
You had Bo. Bo, that's right. Bo in right field. It really came down to like the right fielders for me. I had Dye in the conversation, and that's why when you said you were going to have somebody that nobody else had, I was like, well, is he a World Series MVP? Not for the Royals, but for the White Sox in 05. I loved watching Jermaine Dye in right field. Obviously, you've got, again, Paulo Orlando. And then you've got Alex Rios, in the conversation there, right? Anybody who were as I'm joking, but Jermaine Dye, Danny Tartable were a couple that were immediate for me that came to mind for right field.
They had to. I thought also if there was the way you could work it in where you keep Lorenzo Cain in that, because I feel if I could have had that move to right field, I might have gone Cain in that spot. Because, as we all remember, for defensive replacements, they would put Dyson in center and move Kane to right, but probably not enough starts in right field. Danny Tartable, though, has to be by far and away the number one. And, quite honestly, even though in conversations like this we bring up his name, I'm not sure he goes down as one of the more appreciated Royals for the numbers he put up in the late 80s and early 90s.
I'm with you. I agree with that. But when you go through this exercise and you see that, his years with the Royals, that he's OP.
He led the league in slugging one year.
Yes, 593. He OPS is at 930, 884, 809, 814, and then 990.
If I bring the number down to
don't bring us down.
Even to cause for me, when I said that, but Sweeney highest OPS, it had to be 700 games played. That was the cutoff. If you bring it down to 657, I think it is Danny Tartable.
Oh, really?
At 894, I think. If we bring it down to even probably 500 games or whatever it is.
3 out of 5 years where he had 100 RBIs. One of those years he did not have 100 RBIs. He only played the 88 games. But yeah, and left field to me, as I'm looking at different guys that I wrote down that I didn't talk about in there, left field in my debate was Gordo was immediate. I wrote it down, Gordo. But we haven't, I don't think we've, Dylan brought him up in right field, but Bo for me in left field, because I went with my heart with Carlos Beltran over Willie and AO and Kane, although, heart would also go with Kane, right? Whereas people of a certain generation, the heart would go AO or Willie. Oddly enough, growing up, heart would have been with Bo as just, greatest athlete I've ever seen, and but Gordo in what he did in winning a World Series and the hit in Game 1, the home run, and the fact that there should be a statue in left field of just like the chalk outline of a dead body on the wall of Alex Gordon in left field. They should actually do that in the new stadium that they build. They should have a chalk outline of Alex Gordon in left field, just for fun.
And
just for fun to
have
see Gordo.
have a Halloween style Moustakis, just like a zombie,
That's
just
fine.
Making the catch.
Yeah. But I mean,
a
that was
mannequin.
that was one catch that was cool. But Gordo was always hitting the wall. I mean, Gordo might catch the ball before the warning track and still run and hit the wall just for S's and G's.
I thought about this yesterday. I know we'll probably gloss over the walk-off yesterday, but on the ball that Lofton misplayed in left field in the ninth inning, does Gordon catch that just gliding to his left?
I think Gordon just takes a few steps.
He had the best first read of any left fielder that I've seen. I think on that, and that's a tough ball too, 102 off the bat from a lefty, it's slicing. I guarantee Gordon makes that look like a lazy fly ball to left.
I felt good for Lofton that he came through there.
Absolutely.
That happened. The double happens. Isbell does a Gordo and slamming into the wall. Doesn't end up catching it, but slamming into the wall. and those 2 runs score, and it's like, oh man, nobody feels worse than Nick Lofton. Nobody felt worse in that moment when that single happened. Nobody felt worse than Nick Lofton, and then he gets the opportunity to come through, and he does. And by the way, shout out Tolbert for coming through.
Yeah.
That, Q didn't pinch hit Tolbert for Cags, but he put him in
You
for
pressed the right number,
put him in for a defensive replacement.
the right button.
And stayed with him, by the way. He could have pinch hit him at that point.
Fermin.
He could have
I
put
think
in.
was
Yeah,
left.
well, Fermin was.
he
Fermin
was in.
caught.
That's right.
Yeah. So who would have been left? I don't actually know. who
Mark
would have been
Canna?
left. No,
He's
hurt. Hurt. Massey also hurt. Although Massey was in the building, he just wasn't.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think.
eligible to
Who,
play.
it would have been Cam Devaney for his first big league
Devaney?
at bat.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been amazing. Why not put him? So you go with Tolbert, and he comes through, big time. I thought he was going to lay down the bunt. I thought he was going to stay with it no matter what and try to lay down the bunt. And he gets one he can hit, takes it the right side, and then steals a base, stays on the bag. How about that, huh?
Well, I'm in the middle of writing a strongly worded letter to Rob Manfred. I might have to say
God.
it later on in the show.
We can get into that.
But
So-
I told it happened again, so I'm doing a strongly worded letter. I'm going to send it to Rob Manfred to Major League Baseball to his
Yeah.
office.
But then, Lofton coming through and doing what he does. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back on the other side. We'll wrap up the offense with DH. We'll get our starting pitcher. We will get our closer, and we'll get our manager to wrap up our all-star team. So I enjoyed that. Surprising Ben Zobrist. That was the biggest surprise for me was Ben Zobrist. Also surprised was that 3 of the 4 of us had Tartable. I think that was a surprise. Also, Mike Sweeney at first base was a surprise because I think he would be surprised if you put him at first base as well over another position that, I don't know, we may get to on the other side of the break. More Zone next. All right, so far we have consensus on 3 of the position players because we had the 8 position players, not counting starting pitcher, in our all-time all-star team for the Royals. We all agreed catcher was Salvi. We all agreed George Brett was at third base, and we all went with Alex Gordon in left field. A lot of debate on others, that could be at that position that we thought about. Second base was the one that we had the most, which we had 3 different players show up at second base out of the 4 of us. Frank White for me, Frank White for Dylan, Ben Zobrist for Jack, and Whit Merrifield for Sterling, which I love that. I love the conversation and having that. Center field, Beltran. Jack went Willie Wilson, totally. And then in right field, Jack, Sterling, and I went Danny Tartable, Dylan, Bo. And then let's go to DH now. So we got DH, starting pitcher, closer, and manager left to go. DH. Sterling, let's ask you, because you went at first base. We all went Hosmer except for Sterling went Mike Sweeney. So who's your DH then with Mike Sweeney playing first for you?
Hal McRae.
Okay, that was there were 3 DHs that I was thinking of, and I get it if you want to put Sweeney at first, so you can get Hal McRae in the lineup over Hosmer.
That was my thought, bro. I want more offense. I want more bat.
I don't know. I really like this offense, and if I can have Hosmer over at first to solidify that overall. Good God, that defense. Brett at third, Bobby at short, Frank White at second, and Hosmer at first. I'll take that.
Yeah, my right side of the infield is.
I could have Hosmer batting 8th and Frank White 9th, and I'm fine with that. With the other bats that I have in my lineup. I went DH Mike Sweeney over Hal McRae. McRae 15 years with the Royals. Sweeney 13 years. Sweeney more home runs, higher OPS. Hal McRae more doubles than Mike Sweeney in his career. A great DH.
A lot of doubles.
But so yeah, Hal McRae, get that. I'm going to write you down for McRae. Jack, considering that we both had Hosmer at first, who you got at DH?
Yeah, that's what I was saving Mike Sweeney for. Feels like the perfect spot for him.
Yep. All right. And Dylan, who's your DH?
My DH is John Mayberry.
Love it. All right.
Jeez.
I like
John
that a lot.
Mayberry.
Yeah, that was the guy I was
Easy
deciding
enough
between.
to say for me there. So.
That was Jack's first baseman. Was John Mayberry.
I was
so
either
love that.
him or Hosmer, so I kind of
Yeah.
whichever one was going DH.
Because I missed on first base, we also had 3 different players at first base, 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
Dylan and I had Hosmer, John Mayberry for Jack, and Sterling had Sweeney. So Sweeney, McRae, and Mayberry. That means Mike Sweeney doesn't show up in Dylan's all-time all-star list unless he's a starting pitcher, a closer, or a manager. He could show up as a manager.
He's a bench coach.
I love it. All right, so the next 2, I went back and forth on a couple, but on a few. Starting pitcher. There were 2 here for me. Saberhagen and Greinke. I wanted to argue. I really wanted to argue for Greinke. Like I was trying to find, again, heartstrings. I was trying to find the argument for Greinke, but I just couldn't find one over Saberhagen. I mean, a better ERA, a much higher WAR, a World Series MVP.
Yeah.
2 Cy Young awards for Saberhagen. To me, it's Sabes. That's my starting pitcher.
Yeah, because it's one of those ones where do you get to pick a single season? Do you get to pick? For me,
Yeah.
I went career.
Yeah.
And there's no way you really don't go Saberhagen. I think actually Greinke has the 3rd best chance. I think it's Kevin Apier has the 2nd best.
Ape is a good one.
I think he's maybe the more underrated of the options.
Yeah. I was thinking Cy Young Award winners and
Sure.
like high level of dominance in like the time.
Agreed.
Even for a couple of year span like Greinke.
So I think Apier had a decent chance for me. I think I actually had Greinke 3rd behind Apier, and then I had Brett Saberhagen number. He's my starter.
Absolutely. No, that's really cool. You had Greinke 3rd behind Apier.
Again, I valued a lot of tenure and time with the team.
Yeah, I get that. And I think Greinke also, his numbers with the Royals are deflated from,
His
the
first 5 years.
First couple 3 years when he's got, he had the sub 4 ERA, 3.97 his rookie year as, a 5-year-old. He was 20. But then as a 21-year-old when he had the 17 losses and almost a 6 ERA. I mean, 33 games with almost a 6 ERA, that's going to kill your numbers. But then he goes on and has that 10 WAR season and 2.16 ERA and wins a Cy Young for the Royals. So that's why I went with Greinke. Jack?
Yeah, it saves for me. Too much dominance from 1985 to 1990. I mean, some of those numbers are just absolutely ridiculous.
Dylan? Sabes?
I went Greinke.
I love it. Greinke.
Are we done? What are we doing for relievers? Have we already said the rules there?
Just closer is what
I was
I went with.
Okay.
Or you could do Wade Davis if you're going to say.
It's funny.
We're going to put Sabes in your as your closer.
So the way I wrote it out was Greinke, Arrow, HDH. That's my plan. That's my plan every time.
Your reliever
Greinke and HDH. That's it.
Okay, your reliever is
the whole thing. Yep. No, but I'll go if I'm picking between Holland and Davis. And
you don't have to pick only between Holland and Davis.
You're right. There's more.
I think there are.
Still, I'm going to go Wade.
I had 3 in consideration.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For mine.
But I'll wait. Yeah.
Okay, Sterling, you agreed. You got 3.
I have Monty, Quiz, and Holland. Soria, I thought about, but I couldn't. I couldn't quite get Soria in there. But I went between because if we went closer only, Wade Davis wasn't the main closer for a lot of those teams. He was a setup guy.
He was so much more dominant.
That's what. And that's
no,
what you sort of go with.
I agree, but I was going by what Jason said.
No, I mean you could be you had to be.
I went Monty.
It's everyone's interpretation.
Yeah.
I feel like our lists are different because we all have different prerequisites.
I went with a guy with over 300 saves. I went with Monty.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm valuing the longevity.
For mine, I'm purely going off of, in the 9th inning, the guy who you always expected to get the save of just pure dominance. No one was going to be able to touch him. And even though HDH got its prominence with Holland being the closer, there has never been a pitcher, and I don't know for the Royals if there ever will be another closer for that 1 or 2 years, I should say, like Wade Davis. I believe Wade Davis, numbers-wise, for those 2 years, the stats we still bring up to this day, like the home runs allowed over 2 years, which was 1, if not 0.
He had a sub-1 ERA, I think, in the postseason.
ERA.
In the World Series, I know he did.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ever been a reliever as dominant as Wade Davis from 2014 to 2016 for the Royals.
In those 3 years, he gave up 3 home runs total, which is pretty good. And 1 home run in the no home runs in the postseason for the Royals that he gave up because he didn't really give up hits at all in the postseason.
If someone squared up Wade Davis, it was like, dog bites or man bites dog. Like it was literally.
Dylan, you went Wade Davis?
Yes,
I went Wade Davis as well. So Wade Davis, and Sterling went Jeff Montgomery. I thought it's a little surprising that Quisenberry isn't on one of our 4. That would be that would be a first pick by a lot of people. So I'll be honest with you, no disrespect to Greg Holland, the 3 I was debating was Monty, Quiz, and Wade Davis. Holland had racked up the number of saves, but when I was thinking of like because what did Wade Davis have with the Royals? Like almost as many in his entire career as Holland had like a season. So
no.
I totally understand.
Wade Davis had 49 saves. Yeah, 49 saves total.
Yeah.
Holland had 159.
Right. What was Holland's best season with the Royals?
I want to say it was 13 when he broke the single save record. It was 2013. And then if he doesn't get if he's healthy in 15, Wade Davis doesn't get the opportunity to close games.
Yeah, 20 in 2013 he had 47, and in 2013 47, 2014 he had 46. What was the total for Wade Davis?
159.
No, Wade
Davis 49.
Yeah, 49. So Holland had 47 in one season. Wade Davis had 49 total. So I could understand why Wade Davis would be discounted from that standpoint, but the dominance and the World Series and everything for Wade Davis is why I went that route.
My also talking point, and I'll be quick here, was
You're fine.
I went the entire Royals career, not just picking and choosing a year or two.
I get it.
And if you want to be real technical, Wade Davis had a 3.39 ERA for his entire time in KC. Greg Holland had a 2.72. Yeah. Joaquin Soria at 2.82.
The guy had a guy at runners at third and second, no outs against the best offense in baseball in their heart of the order and got out of it.
I agree. That 2-year stretch was the greatest 2-year stretch I've ever witnessed in my entire life. But my whole point was I took the entirety of it. Not again, it was just different. I didn't go just by peaks. I went by the longevity. And that's what it came down to for me personally.
Well, I also wonder and why I went Quisenberry second and Monty third. I would obviously then put Holland fourth, but the reason I went Quisenberry second is like what would his save numbers be if he was specifically used as a closer and not more of like the fireman plus all the innings that he pitched. I mean, I can understand if somebody was like Quisenberry and it's easy, it's Quisenberry. Totally understand that. And maybe it's the generation of where we came up in as to why the four of us come up with answers that are not Quisenberry. When it may be four people that are in their 50s or 60s, I would say you're a freaking idiot. It's Quisenberry, and that's the only choice.
I think Monty
would.
I mean, you have 304 saves. I mean,
I agree. Yeah, but and certainly, and he would be in my top three of closers that I would look at for all time. But Quisenberry had 238 saves for the Royals, and I mean, he had seasons where 128 innings, 139 innings, 136 innings for a reliever in 1 year is just ridiculous because, Wade Davis, when he was a reliever only for the Royals, 72 innings, 67 innings, and then 43 innings.
And that 70 felt like insane.
Yeah, and the 70 was like, oh my God, he's out there every single time with his 70 innings out there. And Monty never eclipsed 100 innings in a season for the Royals, whereas, again, Wade Davis was, Quisenberry was 120, 136, 139, 129, 129 with the Royals. So pitching in 75 games, 72 games, 72 games, 84 games for the Royals. So, yeah, I went with almost the Ben Zobrist view as my closer of Wade Davis in that 2-year run, as opposed to if I'm looking at a 10-year run, then it's, Quisenberry and certainly Montgomery there. All right, manager. I went Ned Yost.
It's Ned Yost, but I think what's really funny, he didn't win a World Series, but Whitey Herzog would have a legit opportunity.
Yeah.
That was my pick's going to be Whitey Herzog.
I like it.
He had the winning percentage over 570.
I love it.
I believe it has
574.
the 100-win season in Royals history at 102. Also had 3 straight 90-plus win seasons.
Yep. Whitey and Yost were the two for me. Dylan?
Same as me, but I went Yost as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Recency bias that I didn't really see.
Hauser was was there, but it's like, he wins the World Series. It might be sentimental.
Didn't he beat
part of
beat Whitey Herzog?
Yes, in the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, that's what it was actually. Yeah.
I feel too Yost and Hauser are a little bit comparable in that sense of where
had a great team.
Yost went from it was 2010 or what was it? He took over in May for Hillman in May or June 2010, and then didn't make the postseason until 14. Had the great year in 14 and 15, but then not the greatest end in 16, 17, 18, and 19. Although Whitey didn't win one, 4 or 5 years of just complete dominance, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the hard part for me, but also 336 more wins for Ned Yost. Again, I went with longevity more than anything else. And then 2, I can't vote for a guy who's best known as a Cardinal. That's just sacrilegious. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it, Jack.
Numbers were great, though.
They were incredible.
Yeah.
I'm glad you thought the same, because honestly, you and I were in the very similar boat there, but St. Louis, come on now, can't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stan Musial.
But also,
Stan
like,
the man.
the Ned Yost getting to 2 World Series and Whitey, not getting to any, and the failures in the postseason that had happened over and over again. That's why I ended up going Ned Yost over Whitey Herzog. But I think it's a good point of Ned and Hauser sort of being viewed in that same sort of regard, both having a World Series. Longevity, obviously, Hauser couldn't have that. I mean, it was taken from him, the longevity. Who knows how many years we might be saying, it's Hauser and not even close right now if it wasn't for, the tragic end for Dick Hauser. So Yost, and Whitey Herzog. So there we go. Fun exercise. The loser in this is clearly Sterling. The 4th out of the 4 teams, his team would get smoked by our team.
My team rakes. My team rakes.
He went all bats. I'm going bat. I don't care. Frank White's not in my
No,
lineup.
'cause-
You don't have Frank White. You don't have Eric Hosmer.
Throughout the
You've
history
got
of
Whit
baseball.
Merrifield and Mike Sweeney.
Got to outscore the other team.
I'm not mad at it. I'm just
What stadium?
obviously
Are we
joking.
playing in New York? My team's going to wax.
We're playing at Yellowstone, so you're offense.
Shoot.
Sorry about that. You're not
Polo
hitting any home
grounds,
runs.
pull the ball only.
We got to play defense. That's what we got to do. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll continue rolling more zone next. was the third one that I had Sweeney, McRae, and then Kendrys Morales. I think certainly Billy Butler's in the conversation with that of all-time DHs.
That's interesting.
But I went Mike Sweeney. But I think Kendrys Morales in that 2015 season,
like
is
the opposite
certainly
of the Zobrist argument. Like Butler has the longer tenure, but
Oh,
Morales
yeah.
kind of had the more of the
Butler
impact.
versus
Yeah.
Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think if I was ranking them, it would go Sweeney, McRae, Morales, Butler,
Willie Aikens.
Who?
Chili Davis.
Willie Mays Aikens. Tonight, coming up at 7 o'clock, the Home Run Derby. Right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. 913-912-4810 is the text line. We'll talk with Mick Schaefer coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. KSHB 41 Sports Director. We'll get our predictions on the Home Run Derby here in this segment with Joel Penfield, because I am my selection for the winner of the Home Run Derby is now the longest odds to win the Home Run Derby, which I absolutely love, by the way. Absolutely love the fact that, and I'll just tell you what it is. Junior Caminero is my pick to win the Home Run Derby, and he's plus 1,200. Jazz Chisholm has better odds than Junior Caminero to win the Home Run Derby.
That's just crazy.
And Caminero has easy power.
Yeah.
And I know the reason is Chisholm left-handed. Hitting left-handed in Atlanta is going to be easier for you to hit home runs. Cal Raleigh's going to hit left-handed. O'Neal Cruz is hitting left-handed. Matt Olson is hitting left-handed. So
James Wood hitting left-handed.
James Wood hitting left-handed.
But James Wood is going to pepper balls to left center with no problem too. So.
James Wood's just going to go wherever the pitch is. He's just going to take it. I was watching, somebody put together the clip of Sammy Sosa in 2002 in Milwaukee when he had 5 hits that were 500 feet or longer, one at 524, and he hit one 475 to right field.
It's hard to believe that guy did it without any sort of
right. It was all,
performance enhancement. All natural,
and it was all natural.
The bats
too.
were natural.
Right. There wasn't there was nothing inside. There wasn't cork or anything in the bat.
No super balls inside the bat.
Nothing like that. No super juice inside of Sammy Sosa. Nothing like that. But
thought experiment here. How if you gave O'Neal Cruz an aluminum bat for one pitch? How hard's he hitting that ball? Because he said, 123 with wood.
I would say
yes.
140. What I would say is everybody clear the field.
Clear the field, because if he tops it.
Nobody can be on the field. The pitcher has 2 L screens in front of him, just in case. 2 L screens in front of him, because I don't want that ball ripping through an L screen and hitting the guy throwing BP. So he's going to have 2 L screens in front of him. And then
right field, wear a helmet.
Yeah, helmets out there and gloves for everybody in the behind in the stands. Everybody out there, because good God, man, I would like to see though.
I would, yeah, just for one pitch, to see what happens.
You get one pitch.
You hit a ball. You hit a ball 500. You get an aluminum bat for one pitch.
But it would be so hard for them not to swing out of their shoes.
Oh yeah,
knowing that, because I throw in the backyard. I throw the wiffle balls to little man in our backyard, and he can you hit on the roof. It's a home run, right? And then at the end, when we're done, I'll get a tennis ball, and he has yet to hit the tennis ball solid because he just swinging as hard as he can. I'm like, dude, you're never going to hit it that far. You're fouling it off. You're getting underneath it. You're ripping it foul. I'm like, all right, there's your tennis ball. Like, you got one swing, man. You got one swing.
He was doing the early season Vinny Pasquantino.
Yes.
It's the early Vinny.
100%. Like, he'll hit the wiffle balls and just smoke them. And then, all right, here you go, tennis ball. And swinging as hard as he can. I'm like, dude, it's not going to work if you're doing that, man. How many people try to hit a home run and actually hit a home run? Well, Home Run Derby, they do. That's pretty much it. Joel Penfield, One Royal Way podcast. We'll get our assessment of the Home Run Derby come up later on in this segment. But let's start with an assessment of the first, quote-unquote, half of the Royals season. They sit 3 games under 500 through 97 games, 47-50. We'll go the generic radio, letter grade from Joel Penfield. Where do your assessment of this Royals team and a letter grade that you give them through 97 games?
I'll give them a C-, and that's really buoyed by how great the pitching staff has been pretty much the whole year. They would not be only 3 games below 500 if it weren't for those guys, because the offense has been mostly terrible for the entirety of this season. So the fact they're even still in a wild card, fringy wild card position is a testament to where the pitching is. And if the pitching was just a tick or two worse than it is, it'd be closer to a D. But it elevates the grade just a little bit with what we've seen from this pitching staff all season.
Yeah, I'm with you on the C-. I was contemplating D+, just D, C-, C+, all the way through there, because the pitching does so much to elevate them.
Correct.
Like, the pitching wouldn't be that.
It increases the margin for error for a bad offense. That they can go out there and score 3 runs and have a really good shot to win the game.
Yeah. This team, first of all, the stat is amazing for a couple of reasons. When scoring 4 runs in a game, they've played 97 games. Okay, they've played 97 games and scoring at least 4 runs in a game. They've done that 39 times.
It's just ridiculous.
Scoring at least. I wonder how many teams out there, how many games they would have when they scored exactly 4 runs in a game. But the Royals have scored 4 runs or more 39 times out of 97. 39. Maybe you guys have already seen this or not.
I
their
haven't,
record.
but they probably won 32 of those.
Sterling, what would you say? 39 games of scoring at least 4 runs.
33.
33. Dylan, you want to throw a dart? 39 games the Royals have scored at least 4 runs. What's their record? Joel says 32. Sterling said 33. So they'd be 32-7, 33-6.
I guess I'll go
runs.
31 and 9. Or 8.
31 and 8. Yep.
My bad.
32-7. So well done, Joel.
Well done, Joel.
One.
He looked at it beforehand.
I did not. I
Guarantee.
swear to God, I
Parachute,
did
Joel.
not look.
I believe Joel. Now, if you
I
said
believe
32,
Joel. Yeah, I would have totally
You have the
been.
computer in front of you. I'm not even looking at anything.
Sterling,
you
if
could have
you
been
would-
looking it up right on the spot.
if Sterling
You're
said
delayed
32,
Do you know how to
15
work
seconds.
this thing?
Did you look up that stat, by the way?
yeah.
I'm glad you did, because I was thinking about that this week, and I was like, I wonder what our record is whenever we actually put something offensively on the score.
Yeah, I looked it up Thursday morning in Tahoe.
What a flex to say that you were in Tahoe.
But that was kind of a
Did you
humble
listen
brag.
last week?
That wasn't even humble. You're just like,
Yes.
when I was in Tahoe.
I looked
was
it up.
looking this
I looked up Thursday morning in Tahoe. They were 31-7, and then they went and scored 4 runs and won that game. So they are 32-7. But again, the stat is amazing for 2 reasons. One, they've only done it 39 times this year.
Yeah.
32-7 when you score at least 4 runs? Like, they've only lost 7 times if they scored 4 runs or more. They have 7 losses when they do that. Like, and that's where, like, I was going back and forth of, am I just putting them at just a regular C because the offense is an F and the pitching is an A? But I ended up going D+ because the offense has been that bad that this team is 3 games under 500. From where I thought this team, I picked them to win the Central, whether that's, homer pick or not. A lot of other people picked them to win the Central. I think ESPN, with all their different analysts, the Royals had the most first-place votes in the Central. So it wasn't just, hey, everybody in Kansas City is picking the Royals to win the Central. Detroit had the second most out of ESPN. I think there were like 25 or 26 people that voted, and it was like 11-10. Royals and then Tigers out of the 25 or 26. They got 21, 22 of them. So it's not that it was just like, well, I thought they were going to win the Central and this is, 2005. And I was so excited. But 3 games under 500 and the struggles that the offense has been so bad that I can't even really give it a passing grade so far this year.
No, and every time you feel like the offense might turn a corner, then they have a 6-game stretch where they don't even get to 4 runs in any of those games. And sure, they may win a couple because the pitching's great, but that's not the point of the exercise here. You got to find a way to keep some sort of consistency on offense. They had that stretch of where they win 8-12, looked like maybe the offense actually had turned a corner from the road trip, and then you play the Pirates. Now it's playing the Pirates. I understand that, but you got to beat the teams on your schedule, and then they just lay a dud against the Mets for most of that series. You go 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position after you had a 12-game stretch over 300 with runners on.
Yeah.
It's just every time I think that they're going to start trending in the right direction, they fall apart. And every time that I'm like, okay, I kind of wipe my hands of where they're at this season, then they find a way to turn it around.
Yeah.
There's just been zero consistency, and it's been hard to evaluate because that we haven't seen a consistent stretch one way or the other from this team.
Yeah, I would have lost some money if you would have said, what's the Royals' record in July in the 12 games they played, the 12 games they played before the All-Star break. What's their record? I would not have put it at 8-4.
Yep.
With them going to Seattle, going to Arizona, and facing off against the Mets. Like, you got 3 games in there against the Pirates. Okay, they sweep. There's 3. You're going to find 5 out of the other, 9. You're going to find a way to win 5 of those games? No, probably not. But yet they because the first game of the Seattle series was the last day in June.
Yeah.
So they don't take the series from Seattle. They split, but they lost that Monday game. So in July, they took 2 of 3 from Seattle, 2 of 3 from Arizona, swept the Pirates, and then very easily could have taken 2 of 3 from the Mets. I mean,
They were relatively competitive, but
Could've
they still didn't play well. But the
Yeah.
Mets didn't play that great either.
Right, and a 3-1 lead on Friday night turns into an 8-3 loss, and that sucks. And then the 3-1 loss on Saturday was certainly disappointing. And then luckily taking care of business yesterday and getting the walk-off. But it's hard for me to give him a passing grade. Sterling, I went D+, he went C-.
Yeah.
You're a fan of the D, so what would you go? D-, D+, D?
In honor of Dylan.
Yep.
In honor of Big D.
That's right.
I'll go D+.
D+. Okay.
I think the pitching staff's been really good. I wouldn't quite give it an A. Maybe an A-. Probably would give, because I think the bullpen has so many issues. And I think they've been hanging on by a thread a lot of the season with a lot of guys.
I think the fact that they've held up this way with Reagan's being out,
Yes.
Lugo, missing some starts, Harvey not being there, Urseg IL, and not really looking like Urseg, and yet this is still a team that the pitching staff has done this because of Bubich, because of Noah Cameron.
They found ways.
Michael
Michael
Wacha's been
Wacha.
great.
Yes.
Estevez has been very good for
Yeah.
for the money that they gave him. Steven Cruz has been a revelation out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Like-
Estevez gets the blown save, but if Lofton just simply catches the ball, I think they
Correct. Like
I
that was
think
only
they-
his second
yeah.
true blown save all
Yeah.
year. The other two were Manfred runners. I don't really
Yes.
count those in the blown save
Right.
category.
There should be. I know that it, because it hasn't been the way in extra innings forever. There should be a specific category for runs scored,
like
that were
extra
ghost
inning
runners.
blown save.
Yes, because they have it like it's a run, but not an earned run.
Correct.
So they have that already. But if you're looking at a closer, it's like this is a blown save. Is it though? I mean, to me, that's not really a blown save when you start with somebody on second base and nobody out,
and
because with a 1-run lead, it's a bunt and a sacrifice.
Right, and technically they called the game on Friday a blown save when it was all inherited runners that he gave up when he gave up the hit to the triple to Vientos. Technically that was considered a blown save, but I don't think that is either.
Wow. Yeah. So on which one? What was the? Gosh darn it! I hate when it does that. Yeah. On Friday?
Yeah, Friday when he came in, at least on, I think it was on MLB. I saw it on MLB that
It might have been.
they had it listed as a blown save because he came in
Yeah.
with the tying run, go ahead runs on.
Well,
In the
interesting
eighth, it technically is a save situation because he is a.
They gave Cruz the loss.
Yeah.
So Cruz got the loss and he pitched before him. So maybe they did on MLB, but I see the book here has Cruz with the loss. It has Estevez. I don't see anything next to his name because it's got 1 hit and 1 walk, but no runs and 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, the
there.
MLB app shows Cruz with the loss, but Estevez with the blown save.
Interesting. Well, that's dumb.
That is dumb.
That's absurd.
I want to go back to the offense real quick.
Yeah,
so
please.
A- for the pitchers, which is just great. They've been really, really good.
Yeah.
Damn good. Offensively, I don't know if it's an F, but D- probably.
Yeah.
Because
And that's just because, I mean, Bobby's been great. Vinny's been good for 2+ months now.
Salvi's
Mikel's
starting to
been
really
great.
do solid.
Salvi's
Salvi's been, he's up to over 700 OPS now. No longer can use my they only have 3 guys above an OPS. At one point, it was only 2 because Vinny was down there as well.
But Vinny's been great for basically since the middle of May, or actually the end of April. If you actually look at the numbers, he's hitting like 315 since April 30th. So he's
And
been great.
part of it, I don't know if it's all the players' fault. It's not even necessarily a zoom wall observation. It's slightly a zoom wall observation, but also it's a Picola. I don't know if they have the dudes. I think we over-calculated the impact Indy was going to have. He's been bad. But I think we over-simplified the impact he was going to have here in KC. But Isbell has been the guy we've always known him to be, a 630 OPS guy. Why folks think he was ever going to be a 700-plus guy is asinine. Massey's been injured, but this is who he is. He's a guy who's been very inconsistent and injured. Fermin, this is who Fermin is. 685 OPS
and
guy.
And a 685 OPS for a backup catcher is still incredible value. Like, you have to take that into context.
Yeah, if they start losing in the second half or the post All-Star, then he should be a Padre.
Because you look
my
even down the list even
opinion.
farther, MJ Melendez, why everyone expected him to have he's shown us who he is.
Yeah.
Why everyone expected a huge season from him or even Hunter Renfroe, and you get down to it even farther and you're like, well, Kevin Biggio, this has been who he has been for 3 years. They took a shot on him. I don't mind the opportunity, but like this team was not quite deep enough offensively, and we should have seen the warning signs before the season even
Well,
started.
I get it. That's fine. But what I thought the offense was going to be, considering they were middle of the pack last year, being 29th in runs per game, being 29th in home runs, being 26th in on-base percentage. Like, you're not hitting home runs, but don't worry, you make up for it by not getting on base.
And when you do, you get thrown out.
Being 26th on OPS, I think it's an F with offense. I don't know how you can give it anything but a failing grade.
Yeah, I think when you
for
look,
offense.
Mine was D- because of Michael.
Yeah, and I know
Michael doing some heavy lifting here.
right,
Yeah.
but does Michael make up for how bad Massey and MJ are combined? You know what I mean? Like Massey and MJ.
I don't think
and
they're
Renfroe,
I don't
those
think they're
three.
good players.
Well, I know, but Massey is supposed to be a decent player at second base. Like Massey had his OPS was like 750 last year, 740, 750.
but he
maybe.
he also had the injury. Part
He's
of it.
this
Agreed.
This is
kind of who
also
he
just-
yes.
yeah.
That's my point is
Right, but nobody at the
you're-
beginning of the season said Michael Massey's going to be OPSing at 400.
no.
You know, so he's been so bad.
And even if
Garcia's been better, but
Garcia's
Massey
been
was
great.
so bad.
And even if the expectation for MJ Melendez was low, you could not have expected one of the worst hitters in all of baseball for that in that case.
Because again, he had a stretch of like 55, 60 games last year when he OPS'd over 800.
Right.
I
And it
think
was like,
those
okay,
are the
can you put that-
outliers, though.
Oh, I definitely.
Yeah,
we look at MJ.
absolutely.
Yeah, we look at MJ Melendez's overall career. The 50, 60 game stretch last year was a clear outlier when he was like, "This is just, he's getting a hold of the ball. He's squaring it up. He's OPSing over 800. Can that continue?" It's a little bit like the Mondesi September. Boy, if Mondesi carries over September, I mean, how good can this team be? You know, you've got MJ Melendez. If you get MJ Melendez, who's sort of changing his swing a little bit, and what he did last year for that 60-game stretch, I mean, you get that in left field. You find a spot for India. Remember, Michael Garcia was going to be a super sub, like the super utility guy, and now he's just your regular third baseman. Michael Garcia has helped in how awesome he's been. But to me, I don't know if it even evens out how bad left field and second base and right field have been this year. The fact that you're getting that from third base, the offense is clearly an F for me. I don't know. It just I don't know how it could be anything but that.
Again, for me, I guess it came down to I maybe had lower expectations offensively.
Lowered expectations.
And
Saturday Night Live.
I just think that it's a personnel issue more maybe than anything else. I think that we just I mean, I agree with that with everything. I mean, I'm a D-. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
That's
No,
also technically
it should be an
failing.
F.
You gotta
D- is not good enough. It must be an F.
like Jack Caglione has.
I need you to drop it 2 more percentage points. Your 61 needs to be a 59.
Because Caglione, I don't think anyone expected this because we were laughing. We kept saying, well, he can't be worse than Renfroe. He's been worse than Renfroe.
He's been better in right field.
He at
at
least
defense.
hits the ball
He's been
hard.
better
Like,
defensively, yes.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
he's
need
been
to-
better. He's
we
been
don't need
better
to worry about.
defensively,
We don't
and
need to worry about first base yesterday or a first inning yesterday. We
Yeah.
don't need to worry about that.
I guess it's an
Ignore
upgrade
it.
from a weak ground ball to a hard hit ground ball.
It's true. He needs
and
to
when
hit the ball in the air.
and when he does hit the ball in the air, it gets caught miraculously almost every time. It's kind of.
But at some point,
Yeah.
I'm with you, but at some point, they're playing you that way. You got to start doing something different. I'm not necessarily blaming him. I'm not blaming the Royals for calling him up too early because I think that's also been a little bit overblown. I think if he gets sitting down in AAA, we're going to see the exact same thing of him hitting the ball hard, a lot of home runs, and we know who he is. I don't think him playing in AA or AAA is going to really fix anything for him. He's
It's
got
not
to get
gonna
it
fix
figured
it.
out in the majors, and we just haven't seen the adjustments. Anytime you see him hit that 460-foot home run, you think, okay, now the floodgates might be opening, but it doesn't. I don't know what it's going to take for him. I don't know if it's an approach issue. I don't know if it's he just is only 129 at bats into his Major League Baseball career
I think
issue.
that's a lot of it.
But it feels like something has to change because I'm tired of saying, well, he hits the ball hard. Because, sure, anytime he does.
First couple of weeks, it was different.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
First, but at some point, if you keep hitting it hard and the results keep being the exact same thing, you got to change something.
I would like him to, what his first at bat yesterday, first swing is low and inside, breaking stuff. Like he's getting off speed, breaking stuff inside, fastballs away. Like
Yeah.
it feels like that's just the book is like everybody's doing that. Like at some point, you got to go up there knowing this thing, if I see off speed, anything inside, I'm just going to take it, especially first pitch. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be swinging first pitch when it's going to be something on my hands.
And he hadn't at bat. I think it was against Clay Holmes yesterday, where you could tell he went up there and he knows like, okay, I'm gonna get splitters in the dirt. I'm gonna get that kick change in the dirt and fastballs up. And he spit on everything.
It was
and I was like,
pitch walk.
I was like, yes, just more of that. And you
Yep.
see in spurts, like he does. The pitch recognition is getting there,
Yeah.
but there are times where he does get a little antsy and try and take his shots, and some of that is being
Yeah.
a pull side power hitter. Like you take your opportunities when you think you can kind of play the percentage, and
Right.
he gets beat and he gets burned, but it happens to everybody. I just want to see him put together some more regular plate appearances like he did against Clay Holmes, and like he did where it's like, okay, let's work this a little bit, and then force guys into the zone, like he did against Bailey Falter.
Yeah.
Just, hey, I'm getting a first pitch heater, let's jump on it.
And even if it's a strike, it doesn't mean I have to swing at it.
No.
Because if it's a pitcher's pitch strike, I'm not going to swing at it. We had on, Jason Worth in Tahoe.
Yeah.
We talked with him, and one of the things that I asked him, I'm like, your career sort of spanned from the on-base percentage, swing the damn bat. All right, you're walking. Come on. We're not paying you $30 million a year to walk Jason Worth when he got the 10-year, $126 million contract. We're not paying you $26 million or whatever a year, or 12.6, whatever. But still, we're not paying you all this money to walk. I remember it was Marty Brenneman, the radio voice, not TV, Tom Brenneman, radio voice, when Joey Votto would walk.
Yes.
You want to talk about somebody who was very critical on the air. I mean, as critical as anybody I've ever heard about
Juan
the team.
Soto gets those same criticisms for walking too much.
But Marty Brenneman would just constantly ride Joey Votto when he would walk. Of like, hey, look at that, your number 3 hitter, your guy that's supposed to drive him in, now walks. So now we got first and second with 2 outs instead of him swinging the bat. Like he would say that in the middle of the game, like, oh, here comes another walk for Joey Votto. Guy gets this big contract and still walking down to first. And so I asked Jason Worth, I said, your career sort of spanned the on-base percentage, walk. I mean, come on. Let's swing the bat to then being appreciated. When that guy had like 350, 360, a 380 on-base percentage year, like his Jason Worth when he was with the Phillies or even the Nationals, would be amazing in the outfield for this team.
100%.
The guy was at like an 840 OPS, and it was like, oh, good player. When I think back to those teams, like, yeah, he was a good player. Jason Worth is a good player. Then you look at his numbers. So I asked him about that, and he was like, the one thing I would never do at the plate, he said, as a right-handed hitter, I would never swing at a slider. If it was a slider, I don't care where it went. I don't care if it was a strike or not. I was not swinging at a slider. You know why? Because sliders are outs. And I was like,
It's a great way to put it.
He was like, it didn't matter. You could throw me 3 sliders. If they're all strikes, I'm striking out. And he goes, but one of the things that I had a real knack of being able to do is, he goes, I could spoil pitches. He said, so high fastball, I would just like half swing. Just tip it, get out of the way. Now, if you want to throw me a high fastball, but you miss, okay, now you're in the zone that I can hit something hard. High fastball again, I think is going to be strike. Just tip it, foul it off. Slider away with an 0-2, tip it, foul it off. But I would waste pitches until it was either a definite ball or I got a pitch that I wanted to hit. And I'm like, man, that's just somebody that understands baseball.
Yes.
That just understands the strike zone. He also grew up in baseball. His grandfather played 15 years. His stepdad played for the Royals. His uncle played 13 years in the big leagues. So he had no choice. But he grew up all around baseball, but he goes up to the plate with that approach. I'm not swinging at a slider, and if I've got 2 strikes, I'm going to waste until the pitch that I get. I mean, then the guy, earned himself $130 million in his career.
It is interesting to see the evolution because you're right. I remember that vividly of Joey Votto. You got paid all this money just to walk, and I think you're going to look back on his career. I'm doing it now, and I remember watching his entire career unfold, and I think the appreciation grows almost year by year. His career OPS was 920.
He's a Hall of Famer, like no doubt about it.
I think he sneaks in.
It won't be a sneak in. He's going to get in before like year 4.
I think he gets in, but the point remains, like, I think you're right. During his career, it was, you only had 356 home runs, but you got on base at 410. Like, it's just...
Like, he is going to be one of the first, like, newer age, like, analytic darlings that really gets in.
Correct.
Dude,
because hopefully in 5 years,
Yeah.
all of the BBWAA writers that are all old school, either don't pay attention to baseball or just hang on to the past, are either retired or no longer voting, and people that actually watch the game and like perceive it for what it is, like Joey Votto gets in.
I'm looking at this, and Jason Worth in his 4 years with the Phillies, and they won a World Series.
Yep.
And they didn't want to sign him to the contract, the 10-year deal that the Washington Nationals gave him. But in his 4 years with the Phillies, he was then 31 years old, so I understand why they let him walk, because he was later on in his career, even as a high school kid that was drafted, lost a year to his elbow surgery. His 4 years with the Phillies, he got on base at 380 and he OPS'd 885. And the Phillies were like, yeah, we're going to let you walk. We're going to let you walk. His last year in Philadelphia, he was number 8 in MVP. He got the 8th
He was
most
a
votes
really, really good player.
in MVP.
Underrated player.
Yes, 100%. Looking at it like 921 OPS, 530 slug, a 390 on base percentage his last year as a 31-year-old, and that's why the Nationals gave him all that money. And he went and finished top 15 in MVP voting a couple of years for the Nationals. But, the guy's batting 265. Cool, great. But his on-base percentage is 380. He's not paid to walk. He's paid to hit home runs and doubles. Okay, I don't care. He's batting 265. He's getting on base at 380. And we've seen that evolution now to where we're watching it now. And all that to bring up, somehow we got to this of the Royals offense is an F to bring it full circle. I actually don't know how we got on that.
I don't know how that happened.
Because they don't walk.
Oh, we were talking about Kaggs.
We were talking about
Kaggs and his approach, and even if it's a strike, doesn't mean you have to swing at it. When Jason Worth said I would never swing at a slider.
Yep.
I don't swing at sliders. And I said, tell that to Salvi. Can you write a note to Salvi and say, hey, Salvi, low and away sliders, do not swing at them. It's like a kit with high fastballs. Can't hit it, can't lay off them. All right, last one for you, Joel Penfield. And then I want to get your thoughts on the home run derby real quick. But 12 games before the trade deadline. So let's say they take it up right to July 31st. Okay, they are 47-50, so 3 games under 500. If they go 8-4, they would be 55-54, 1 game over 500. Anything less than that, they would be under 500 at the trade deadline. Where do you think they need to be without knowing what the other teams are going to do along the way? Obviously,
'Cause that's what I was looking at.
because they are playing Cleveland, for 3 of those games, so that would be head-to-head matchups for a team that's right there with them in the playoffs and tied with the Royals at 4.5 games out of the wild card. Is it you need to be at 55-54? You need to be.
I think you have to be.
Yeah. So minimum 8-4 these 12 games.
I think so, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, we've seen this team do it before. The problem is they're 21-35 against teams above 500, and you're going to play 2 teams that are right around there. So.
I will say this. Saw it beforehand.
Say it then. Say it.
They have the second easiest schedule in the rest of the year.
And yep, I
It's
saw
the
that
easiest
as well.
in the AL.
JJ Piccolo talked about that. Now, he didn't say it's the second easiest schedule after the All-Star break, but he did mention the schedule after the All-Star break.
Yes.
And after July, what the schedule looks like for them.
Something to keep in mind.
Right, and I think it's something the Royals will be keeping in mind.
If they go 8-4, they put themselves above 500 and say they're a game and a half out of the 3rd wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to buy.
Yeah,
But they have to be there. If you come out and if they're 500, if they go 6-6, sure, it's better baseball, but it's not enough, and that's where you got to make the tough decisions.
Yeah, the Mariners play 14 games before the trade deadline. The Royals play 12. And the Mariners, 18, 22, 24, 5, 6, they actually don't have a day off starting Friday, Mariners, until July 31st.
14 games in 14 days.
Yeah, so, but they play Houston, Milwaukee at home. Then they go to the Angels, go to the A's. Those are the games that they have remaining. So if we're looking at Seattle, if the Royals go 8-4, can they gain a couple of games on the Mariners, but also gaining a couple of games on, Minnesota, Tampa, Texas, Boston, their stupid 10-game winning streak. So dumb. We won 10 in a row. How cool, Boston! Yay!
Yeah,
Good
you
for
got a 10-game homestand in the middle of August. That's the Nationals, the White Sox, and the Rangers.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a chance to really make some hay if you are going to be buyers at the trade deadline. All right, last but not least, who wins the home run derby, Joel?
James Wood.
Yep.
James. Oh, you
Good
both
call.
go James Wood?
James Wood.
All right, I'm going Junior Caminero.
James Wood? No. James Will.
James Wood, the second betting favorite still?
I think he's 3rd.
Is he? Excuse me, the 3rd. I said second, but he's sitting here 3rd. Right.
He's had a lot of helium when the betting odds first came out. He was like 8-1,
Yeah.
and now he's around 4 or 5-1.
Yeah,
So.
plus 425. Cal Raleigh plus 300. His odds have gotten a little bit longer. O'Neal Cruz right around what they were this morning. He was plus 325. Now he's plus 330. But Junior Caminero was 10-1. Now he's 12-1.
I may still sprinkle Junior Caminero just for the value.
That was my pick. I'm going Junior Caminero. Dylan, you want to throw a dart as to who wins tonight? I'll give you the current odds. Cal Raleigh plus 300. O'Neal Cruz plus 330. James Wood plus 425. Matt Olson plus 800. Brent Rooker plus 850. Byron Buxton plus 950, fresh off his cycle. Jazz plus 1,100. And Caminero plus 1,200.
James Wood's a Nationals guy, right?
Yep, lefty in a lefty park. That's why the lefties like Raleigh, O'Neal Cruz, and James Wood and Matt Olson are all left-handed hitters. Are the 4 betting favorites.
I would go with O'Neal Cruz, Raleigh, or James Wood. So I'm going to go James Wood just
James
because
Wood,
everyone's
3 of
probably
the 4.
picking the other 2 guys.
3 of the 4, James Wood.
So I'll
and
go James Wood.
I will go Junior Caminero. So James Wood, and Junior Caminero. So some youngsters there. We'll see. Farthest home run, O'Neal Cruz. We all in agreement? O'Neal Cruz?
O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah,
O'Neal
I think
Cruz.
so.
Yep.
Hardest hit ball.
Hardest hit
O'Neal
ball,
Cruz.
Yep.
exit velocity. He's the heavy favorite, both of those, for the longest home run and highest exit velocity.
And can we please have some older children out there for once? Like, can we not do the 5-year-old?
Most likely to smoke a kid in the
Yeah,
chest
right,
with a line
exactly.
drive, O'Neal Cruz.
Most likely to
Exactly.
put a kid out the rest of the game is O'Neal Cruz. Yeah, and
I know I'm asking a lot here.
if he's
but
up there, put the small children to bed. And
I can't wait for them to show Jazz Chisholm all the time when James Wood hits. It's going to be so annoying. Jazz, hey, let's talk about Jazz. He hit 4 home runs. Let's talk to Jazz about
I hope he only
nonsense.
I
It's
hope
like
he only hits 4 home
the
runs.
Pete Alonso interview when Salvi
Yes.
peppered 28 homers.
Yes.
in 21.
Yeah, I hope Jazz only hits 4 home runs. We'll take a time out. Joel, you're the man. Appreciate
Thank
you,
you very
brother.
much. Hey, Dylan, gonna miss you, buddy. Love you.
I'm going to miss you too, Joe. I appreciate that, brother.
Yep. Joel Penfield, One Royal Way podcast. Unlike Dylan, Joel will be back next Monday. We'll take a time
He's
out.
not a quitter.
Part-timer over here. We'll take a time out. More Zone next. from the deadline for Trey Smith to sign his contract extension. Now, Slick Rick Scoops, formerly known as Pretty Ricky, that has a lot of breaking news.
Pelts on the wall, you would say.
That's right, absolutely. Notches in the belt, feathers in the cap. He has been right about a lot of things. And he said a while ago that the Chiefs are working towards a 4-year deal and they'll get it done. And he tweeted out this morning that Trey Smith, or excuse me, tweeted out on the 11th, but he said, Chiefs and Trey Smith are expected to come to a long-term deal before the July 15th deadline that will make him the highest-paid guard in the NFL, and then tweets out and says this morning, the Chiefs' record-breaking 4-year deal with Trey Smith will be announced tomorrow. And that was at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm on the record as saying I thought it would get done. Both sides want it to get done. There's too much of Brett Veach wants Trey Smith to be around. Trey Smith wants Trey Smith to be around. And I think it would be in Trey Smith's best interests to sign the deal. Is it in the Chiefs' best interest to sign a guard to that much money? To somebody who's not viewed as the best guard in the league? To somebody whose pass blocking numbers, according to PFF, are not superior to other guards? And quite frankly, are the lesser part of his game. He's a great run blocker, good run blocker, a well above average run blocker. But pass blocking is not what Joe Thuney was. And they gave Joe Thuney the highest guard contract in the league at that time.
Yeah.
Inflation, both for contracts and also salary cap, so percentage-wise. And now they will give Trey Smith the largest contract for any guard by a couple of million. Now, what's the
Allegedly.
guarantee? I don't think Trey Smith is going to take less than 23, and 21 million is the annual average value highest number right now. So I think Trey, if they give him a long-term deal, if Slick Rick,
I meant
is
allegedly
right,
in regards to the Slick Rick.
yeah, right. So if they come to an agreement, he will be the highest paid guard by a couple of million. And the question then goes to, is it worth it? How good does he have to be to live up to that? Because Joe Thuney lived up to the contract.
You have to be Joe Thuney good.
You have to be one of the best guards in the league to live up to that. And just by being a good player and a locker room guy.
I take that back. You have to be better than Joe Thuney because you had the chance with the Chiefs to keep Joe Thuney for a couple more seasons. You saw the Joe Thuney contract, what he got the extension-wise with the Bears. You have to be not only as good as that, you have to be better than that because you're getting paid more than him. And this was my concern all along. This is my concern, dude. It's not that I don't love Trey Smith. I love Trey Smith. I love the character. I love what he does in the community. I'm a huge fan of Trey Smith.
Yeah.
But I just don't believe over the next 3 seasons he's going to be better than Joe Thuney.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And that was kind of
He's younger.
He's younger. That's great and all, but a lot of these contracts end up being basically 3-year deals either way because they restructure and they get out of it. So it's going to come down to who was better over the next 3 years. I said it's going to be Joe Thuney, and Joe Thuney is going to be cheaper. And that's my concern all along is I'm happy if they're able to keep him. I'm happy if they're able to give him a long-term extension. I get it because at the end of the day, it's not my money, and it's the Chiefs' job. It's Veach's job to figure out how to spend the money. And if Hunt wants to come in and start doing void years to make sure guys can stick around and build the best team possible, I'm on record saying it, and I'll say it again. I would have gone with Joe Thuney. I would have tried to trade Trey Smith. I think the return would have been very, very similar, and you would have had a cheaper contract and a probably better player over the next 3 years in Joe.
I do wonder what the return would have been for Trey Smith, given the fact that he had the franchise tag on him, and somebody was trading for Trey Smith to pay him $23 million.
Sure.
Plus, you already you traded for him, so the entire side of the leverage is on Trey Smith's side.
Yes.
Because you don't trade for me and then not pay me what I would like.
Agreed.
And my franchise tag is $23 million, so I'm going to get at least $23 million per year. And it's going to reset the guard market. Joe Thuney the next 3 years, cap hit, how the Chicago Bears structured his 3-year deal, It's an extension, 2 years, $35 million. So it's $8 million cap hit this year, coming up this football season. 21.5 the next 2 years. So 2026, 21.5, 2027, 21.5. Then he's a free agent. So you're looking at $50 million that you're spending against the cap over the next 3 years for Joe Thuney. Is it going to be $50 million against the cap the next 3 years for Trey Smith? If it's more, then you have to ask the question, did you make the right move? Because after 3 years, if he signs a 4-year deal, that's really a 3-year deal, right? So after 3 years, then you have to assess whether or not you're going to give him another contract. And if you're not going to give him another contract, well, then the only assessment of Trey Smith is Joe Thuney versus Trey Smith over the next 3 years. Because either Trey Smith is going to be your right guard for the next 6-7 years, what you had with Joe Thuney when you grabbed him in 2021. So he played 21, 22, 23, and 24. So he played 4 years with you. Joe Thuney did it left guard. And if Trey Smith is going to play another 5 or 6 more years for you, then okay, you can make the case.
It's the right move then, yes.
It's the right move because of his age. 3 years and more money than Joe Thuney, you're going to have to be right about that if you don't sign him again. And I'm not advocating that, well, now you're, pot committed.
Sunk cost. It's a sunk cost, but
we have to give him another extension because, it looks like we made the mistake maybe with Joe Thuney or Trey Smith. Is Trey Smith an ascending player? I hope so. I would like him to be an ascending player when it comes to pass protection. He needs to be better. And when we said, who are our predictions for our surprise player and disappointing player after the draft? We did this like a month ago. Our, predictions at that point. And my prediction for disappointing player was Trey Smith. And it was because the contract next to his name, he will be viewed differently. He will be assessed differently. He will be judged differently by people watching the way that Juwan Taylor is judged because of the contract they gave him.
Agreed.
That Trey Smith will be judged not as a, well, yeah, he held, but, he's a 6th round pick. Okay, that's a holding call on Trey Smith that just cost you a first down, and that's the highest paid guard in the league. That can't happen because Juwan Taylor is getting torched.
Well, here's the thing.
And he'll be making more than Juwan Taylor.
Well, and you can get the highest paid next to your name, but if you produce, no one cares. Creed Humphrey,
100%.
no one cared at all that he was the highest paid center in the NFL because he was worth it.
And nobody cares that Joe Thuney was making the money he was making the last couple of years because, good God, look what he had to do at left tackle.
Yes. And
Slid out there and played left tackle.
You can live up to expectations even if you are the highest paid player in the NFL at your position because, again, Creed Humphrey, I didn't hear a single person complain once about Creed Humphrey last year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't think of a single person last year who was like, well, you can't do that because he's the highest paid center in the NFL. No, because he was worth it.
Yeah, and we'll see moving forward because he also didn't have the snaps that were rolled back to Mahomes this last year.
The dead ball snap.
The dead ball snap. It worked. And we'll see, what happens, moving forward. And we'll also assess over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years, do we change our view on guards in the NFL because of how prolific defensive tackles are becoming in the NFL? So are people going to say, well, these edges are turning into stud defensive tackles, and now the guards are becoming more valuable because you've got to go up against that guy, maybe one-on-one against a Jalen Carter or a Wilkins or Chris Jones.
Or
the
NASCAR package.
Yeah, right. Or the guy that's a Minihue that's an end that slides down inside, and you're going to have to go in one-on-one with him because they're going to create different blitz packages, and they're going to run stunts, and you better be really good at what you do. Okay, you're going to start earning more money than in the past. We'll take a timeout, come back, and continue rolling more zone next. All right, wrapping up this hour. We'll hang out with Nick Schaefer, KSHB 41 Sports Director, coming up in the next hour. Learned funniest best we've got from the weekend that was. And leading into the Home Run Derby tonight, 7 o'clock. I don't know how I feel about, like, we can get into and talk about it. Like, I've gone back and forth on the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game. It's like, it always, to me, was growing up, the All-Star Game was a big deal because Interleague wasn't taking place. Then the All-Star Game became kind of boring, and nobody was really taking it serious, so then it became the Home Run Derby. Then it counted. But now we're seeing guys go out there and actually, try, to a degree. We'll see. We'll talk with Mick Schaefer next.
at you. You almost touched my stuff.
So you just get close to people and almost touch them? Is
Yeah.
that your thing? That's even weirder, I think.
Yeah.
That's even weirder, man.
Just
you
your
get close, you might as
coffee.
well go on. Why were you going to get close to my coffee?
Because that looks really good.
You want me to pour it in your mouth? Come on.
Waterfall?
Yeah. It's like a QT little vanilla mocha.
Nice.
The Royals have made 4 selections today. Now 5 selections, I should
my
say.
thumb on your stuff.
They just
It was my stuff too, dude. That was I was a little confused.
okay. They just made their
Marshmallow.
5th selection today in the 8th round. The Kansas City Royals. So there you go.
They're into the 8th?
Yeah.
Remember this when this thing was 50 rounds? It wasn't that long ago.
It was
When Gerard Dyson was 47th round, I think.
Mike Piazza was beyond 50. I think it was back like a 55th round pick or something like that as a favor.
The Royals today have selected Nolan Sailors from Creighton, outfielder, 4-year senior. Aiden Jimenez from Arkansas, pitcher, 4-year junior. Okay.
62nd round was Mike Piazza.
Wow.
About that. Trent Green wasn't far away from that, right? He was an 8th rounder.
He was 8th round. Yeah.
Tyreek Kemp from Baylor, a shortstop, 4th-year senior. Bryson Dudley, Texas State, pitcher, 4th-year senior. And then Brooks Bryan, Troy University, catcher, 4th-year junior, ranked 185 in MLB.com's top 250. So they finally have another guy ranked.
There you go.
They went, their selections yesterday were ranked 27, 26, 75, 111, 138. The next 4 selections were not ranked, not ranked, not ranked, not ranked. Now 185. We heard Brian Bridges yesterday talk about reassessing the money for today after they took Cameron Millar. That was clearly going to have to be a little bit over slot. And they clearly reassessed with the next 4 picks. It feels
What's
like
slot at 97? Is that still over $1 million?
it's 780,000 is the slot for the
But
Royals.
he probably got over. $1
I
million.
guess he might. You know, let's see. Carter was a 3rd-round pick and got $1 million. Carter Jensen. That was when they went signability with Mazzucato because they wanted Kudrna and Carter Jensen in the 2nd and 3rd round. So Carter got $1 million. And that was a couple of years ago. There's inflation now. So now it's even more than what it was then. This is $788,000 for Cameron Millar. The pick 71 is $1.2 million for the Royals. The Justin Lampkin is what his approximate pick value would be. So we'll see what these guys that are selected after their last pick yesterday, that Brian Bridges said that was, well, we did a little bit where, you know, we were making sure that actually, you know what, let's play clip number 8. Let's just go ahead and do this. This is Brian Bridges yesterday, because I'm pretty excited about Josh Hammond, the 2nd of the 1st-round draft picks, the pick they got for Bobby Witt, and then this Cameron Millar kid that I'm excited about. Here is Brian Bridges talking about the money they're going to be paying for Millar.
There will be some correction tomorrow, so I will have to make some correction, but we are very, very happy. Gary Wilson did a really good job of getting him to commit to signing with us. So I'm just as excited about him as I am anybody. When I flew out to California and NorCal, went to the game, I mean, he's got swagger to him, not in a bad way, but just it looks like he's already on TV. And the way he competed and went after hitters, you don't see young prep pitchers anymore with that type of mentality on the mound. So he's definitely one that gets after it, and we're very, very, very happy he's a Royal.
So there you go. We're gonna have to make a correction. I think the market correction probably for them is their next 4 picks are 4th-year guys that are not ranked in the top 250 with pick 128, 158, 188, and 218.
But by like round 10, you can be back to drafting
Well,
guys who
round 8
should be drafted in round 10.
Round 8, their pick number 248 was ranked 185th. Yeah. And they actually have video and a scouting report on them. The previous 4, no video, no scout, no nothing. But cool that, you know, Creighton, you know, it's right up the road.
Do you like the thought process of doing that? Because baseball might be the least consistent of any draft, just because the amount of players you have, high school, a lot of times high school kids, they're a lot younger. do you like going over budget for a specific pick? Because that to me puts almost more pressure or more emphasis on a specific player. Like again with Mazzucato for Kurdna and Jensen. So far, it seems like the right process, but still.
Well, if Kudrna needs to continue to develop a little bit more. It seems like the right process for Carter. You know, they got him in the third round. He's not a third-round pick.
Sure.
But it's like, you know, in the third round, this is the money we'll give you because we're going to take Kudrna in the second round. We'd like to take you right after that, but we can't take you right. We don't have a draft pick. So I don't know how many other people are going to give you this money, but this is the money we're willing to give you in the third round if you let it be known to the – because it's not like the NFL draft. It's like, you know, those set contracts. You're a fourth rounder as opposed to a second rounder. That's a lot of money. You know, Kudrna got more money than Carter Jensen, but Carter Jensen got as much money, if not anybody else that was around him, you know, more money than anybody else around him. And so Trey Snyder, who, you know, is with the Mets and, you know, Gatorade Player of the Year from up north, I think he was a fifth-round pick that got $1 million to go to the Mets as a fifth-rounder, got $1 million. So, you know, it's just a matter of how can you – I like it this way because it does allow you to say if the Royals are going, man, we want Lombardi, Lampkin, and Millar here. But we can't get them with the, you know, all with the 61, 71, and 97. If we were just selecting these guys in the regular draft, they'd be gone. Okay, we can get Lombardi now, and we like him. We can get Millar at 71, but then Lampkin's going to be gone. So let's draft Lampkin, and we'll work out a deal with him, and we'll let Millar know we'll pay what you want to get paid.
And Millar's camp is then telling other teams that, hey, we're not signing for anything less than 1.5.
This is what we're getting from them. We've already agreed to a deal with them, so you don't need to draft my guy. Unless you want
to do two.
Unless you want to come, unless you want to come over the top with what they have, but we've already negotiated with them. So now you're going to have to get on the phone with the agent and negotiate there, where the Royals apparently had been negotiating throughout the day. That's how I know. That's how it was with.
It is
Carter
kind of a
Jensen.
blurred line between a draft and free agency for baseball.
Right.
To answer your question, I would forfeit. I mean, the baseball draft. I think even still with only 20 picks.
Yeah.
You would forfeit
20 rounds. So you
you'd forfeit 5 picks for one guy that's going to hit, wouldn't you?
But my point is, you don't know if that guy's going to hit.
But if you
because
really believe in it, but down the road, if you look back, like, okay, Millar hit. He's an all-star 3 years in. He's a guy that's going to be part of our rotation for 6 or 8 years. I think you would take that and forfeit 5 other picks, right? Or just and take your slot.
But it could be like if you were. I mean, you're not allowed to trade picks. But if the Royals are sitting there and saying, boy, first pick overall was this Eli Willits kid, and everybody was surprised, and second pick, another surprise, and Kate Anderson that we thought was going to go number 1 is sitting there at number 3. If you're like the Royals and you're like, hey, we got pick 23, 28, and 61, we'll trade that to move up to number 1 and take Kate Anderson because you're taking a high school kid with high upside. We're giving you a chance to take a couple high school kids with Gamble. You could take Gamble and you could take Josh Hammond. You got 2 chances for a high school kid to hit as opposed to the number 1 pick. That was a surprise because they thought he would go in like the teens, and he went number 1. If you're thinking that route anyway of signability, we'll give you these picks, plus you get more money to sign, and we'll take the number 1 pick, Kate Anderson, and we'll use all our resources there. And now, hey, Bubich or Cole Reagans are going to Lugo's going to be gone. Bubich may be gone. This guy's going to be quicker through the system and could be up in your rotation in 26. But you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can do it a little bit with the signability and drafting somebody now that you may pay a little bit less for
and competitive
taking
balance
somebody
picks.
later.
You can trade the competitive
I
balance.
didn't know about the 28th pick. And first of all, why was there not 30? Did we lost 3 picks somehow?
Yeah, because you lose first-round picks because of the salary, not salary cap, but the tax.
Sure, yeah.
The tax in Major League Baseball.
You lose a pick now
Once
too,
you get to a high level of that tax, then you lose your first-round draft pick.
And I didn't
know.
I
think the Mets, Dodgers, and Yankees lost their first-round draft pick.
I didn't know about the top 3 in the MVP pick. Here you go.
28.
Thanks, Bobby Wood Jr.
Yeah, it's the first pick after the first round. So pick 27 was the final pick of the first round. Was pick 27, and the Royals got pick 28, and that's where they got the guy who I'm most excited about, which is Josh Hammond, the third baseman that apparently has just crazy power.
So, baseball draft.
And he can pitch.
And he throws like 97, 98 off the mound. Yeah. So that'll play over at third base.
I love all the randomness in the baseball draft
crazy.
where it's like, hey, NBA, NFL, hey, here's the money, here's the slot. You can trade, I guess, but like, you know what you're going to have. Major League Baseball, like, how many first-round picks? Well, 30. Or we could have fewer.
We could have 27 depending
Okay.
on if teams
But
forfeit
But
that.
we're going to have 10 picks between the first
yes,
and second rounds.
we're going to have competitive balance picks. So those go to like small market teams. Well, actually, the Yankees have one.
They do
so
have
the
one.
Yankees have one. Can we trade picks? No. But you can trade the competitive balance picks for each other. No. For players occasionally. Yeah. That's how Drew Waters' trade
I
happened
wonder, too,
with.
if you could do it like the NFL in Major League Baseball, how often you would trade 3 or 4 picks for one, because you do have a lot of rosters to fill out, right? I mean, these guys, every minor league team's going to have 3 dudes on it and about 24 that are just there to fill up. So you need those guys. And so I wonder, how often a team could do that and leave a draft with only 12 players. Like,
UDFAs.
I guess.
You just have undrafted.
But it would also depend on where you are in your organization. So you might have an organization that just traded a bunch of pieces last year to go for it. And that next year, they're like, yeah, we'll give you the 10th pick because we'll take that supplement. We'll take the 31st pick in the draft, that round 1 competitive balance pick. We'll take your second round pick and we'll take pick 24 and we'll give you pick 10 because we went for it and we didn't make it. But we finished, whatever this number is in the lottery, and we're the 10th pick, and so we'll give you that because we got to replenish our farm system.
I wonder I bet it's a healthy chunk of every team's farm system every year just retires, right? You got guys in their 5th year in low A, right? And guys that just have topped out at double A, bouncing out between high A and double A. I'm 31. It's not going to happen. I'm going to go sell insurance, whatever. I wonder what's the average percentage of a team's organization that's just gone, and you do have to fill those spots every year.
It's a good question. I mean,
that's why I asked it.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to it.
Good question, but it was to a bad person.
Why
I
am
should
I a
looked
bad
at you.
person?
I also don't know. No,
Okay,
I also
you're
been a bad person.
Horrible person.
Horrible.
I'm gonna say 15%.
The wrong. Sorry, wrong person. The
Yeah, I was
wrong.
gonna say.
So it's kind of actually.
You don't know the
a
answer
fault
to
of
it?
Mick.
What a bad person. Can't believe you don't know the answer
But
to
Mick
it.
doesn't know the answer to it, and he asked the question. That's a bad lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, you only ask questions that you know the answer to.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So where were you last night, Sterling?
Pickleball.
I knew that.
Watching my wife play pickleball.
I knew that.
Chicken pickle was fun.
Yeah, I knew that.
She's in a league, and I was like, I'll go support my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. Gosh.
And of course, there's drinks there and food. So
Then why did your phone ping in Liberty?
I love freedom.
Okay, sure. It didn't actually. I just wanted to throw you for a loop there.
It didn't. You just told me.
I didn't know until you just told me there.
But you didn't do that, did you? But you didn't do that, did you?
And that's when you called the cops? And that's when we
when I
called the
called the
cops. Dateline. Fans of Dateline. KSHB. Dateline. And that's when you probably should have got out of the house, right? Yeah, we should have. But you didn't do that, did you? No, we didn't do that. And then, of course, you have the setup of, and that's when you went to the business, and that's when we went to the business.
What's going on right now?
Dateline. Watch yourself some Dateline, okay? And then come back and talk to Mick and I.
And that's when Sterling texted his BFF, LOL.
It was a dark night. One Shakespeare would write an entire poem about. A darker night for Janice as she was walking home. A night she would not see her house. Because around the corner was waiting the unfortunate end. It's always that intro that the old guy has.
That was wild.
Yes. But that was wild. Bill Hader does a fantastic. Watch Dateline, then watch Bill Hader's impression of Dateline.
Yes,
It's
There's
fantastic.
a lot of steps to this process.
Yeah,
Do you
I-
not watch
that's right.
Dateline?
No.
You don't know about Keith Morrison?
I mean, get
No, I know Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
well. Keith's better.
Keith is not related to Jim, but he is related to a very famous person, or was.
Alanis Morissette.
Now, he was
Jim Abbott.
Matthew Perry's stepdad.
Oh, how about that?
Yes.
Huh.
How about that? I didn't know that. How about that? Watch Dateline, Sterling.
Could have been you're learned.
Yep.
I learned it years ago.
Speaking of that, let's get Learn Funniest Best. We'll take a time out, come back, more zone next. All right, let's get some Learn Funniest Best in here from the weekend. What we learned from the weekend, funniest from the weekend, best from the weekend. Jason Anderson, Sterling Holmes, Dylan Michaels, Mick Schaefer. 2 segments left for Dylan Michaels
Oh, God.
in his career. I mean, yeah.
Wait, I learned that there's 2 segments left for Dylan Michaels.
I just learned that Dylan's last day is today. He tweeted it out this morning, and I'm like, what?
Hey, if you don't go to break at all, there could be 1 segment left.
Great call. Great call.
And Todd would walk in. You're fired, Dylan. We told you to take all the breaks. You can't quit. I'm firing you.
I remember we did. You can't fire me. I quit. We did the fun lead up to Corey Anderson leaving. That we knew that Corey was
we
out.
loved that. We were all jumping up
It was
and down.
great.
There were
we
no
had
tears.
parties every day
whatsoever.
that he wasn't invited to, but we had
we're
parties
like one
every day.
step closer to Sterling.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, thank God. But that was when Vinny Pasquantino was like raking in AAA. We're like, Corey's. I can't remember what it was. We knew the last day for Corey, so whatever date it was like, let's say June 20th, and we had this thing like June 1st. We're like, if Vinny isn't up by June 20th, Corey's quitting. And we would talk about it like every other day, and then finally that week leading up to it, like if Friday was his last day, we're like, when Friday's going to be my last day. I'm like, you're not really going to do it. He's like, I swear to you, if Vinny's not up, I will quit. I will quit. I'm out. That's how strong I feel about Vinny Pasquantino.
He was called up. I remember that. He was called up not long after,
It was
though.
like the next week.
Which would have been wild. What if you would have gotten called up and you have to be like,
well, he still would have quit.
I'm still quitting.
Still found some other reason.
He still would have quit. Yeah, I mean, it just
And
wouldn't
you
have been
said
as fun.
July 20th if Carter Jensen's not up, right? You're gone?
Wow.
Is that true?
That
No,
is
he said July
rude.
15th.
Yeah.
You know what? Fine. Do the show tomorrow with no one. Just you, Jason.
No, he said July 15th if Carter Jensen isn't in Kansas City by July 15th. And he is. He's just visiting
back
family.
home. He's back home.
He's visiting family right
The
now.
Zone with Jason Anderson and only Jason Anderson.
He was in that Futures game on Saturday
Sunday.
for an at-bat.
Saturday?
It was Saturday.
Saturday?
For an
Yes, it was
at-bat.
Saturday. Yeah, I know.
By the way,
Would like to see him start.
tonight, and I think it might be during the home run derby,
Yes, Bo
Peterson of Mill Valley and another kid, another Texas commit, are doing the high school home run derby. He hit 26
Dude, Bo was crushing it, man.
on Saturday, tied for the second most ever with Bobby Witt Jr.
Good call.
in that deal.
Yeah. Yep.
And
so
so
the high school home run derby is taking place. I don't know if it's at the same time or it's tonight.
I keep texting with his dad, and the more and more we look, it's like they keep saying Deering. I'm like, if they trot those 2 17-year-olds out in
Yes.
the middle of that MLB home run derby crowd, I'm going to love it. But
Let's
I'm
do
like,
it.
I cannot. Those kids might age 3 years.
It would
in
be
that whole
It would be
night.
Jackson Kowar times 10
Oh
out there
my
on the mound where he
God.
couldn't get any
I cannot
saliva.
imagine.
I can't breathe.
They, I know they were nervous in that stadium with
Nobody
fans there on Saturday for it.
But the sound though. I
Yeah,
mean,
the ping.
the empty sound, the empty stadium when
Yeah.
you've got like
Yeah.
the ping, or when they're hitting the wood bats, even for high school kids, and
Wood
and
bat
just
is-
the echo that takes
you
takes place.
accept the ping sound because
Yeah.
it's what you get, but then you prefer the sound of the
Hit
wood
with the
bat.
wood, it's,
I
yeah.
can't remember. I think it was Gamble. They had that video
That's
of him,
right.
and it just sounds like a shotgun.
Yeah, because it was a lefty,
Yeah.
so it was a gamble because Hammond's
Yeah.
right-handed.
My guess is they're going to do it beforehand, and then maybe they'll air the highlights in the middle
hope
of the
so.
derby. But it's kind of sound like maybe they'll trot him out in the middle. I don't know.
No,
but
I put $10 on Bo
either
to win at DraftKings. No.
Can you?
I wish that'd be awesome. I would definitely
great.
I would definitely put. Hey,
That'd be
Bo,
great.
if you throw this, we got some money heading your way.
Oh, my
You just
gosh.
can't win it. That's all. The second place is pretty awesome. I mean, come on. All right. Learned funniest best. Some people may have learned that Bo Peterson from Mid Valley is competing
There
in
you
the
go.
home run derby tonight. But what I learned is that the Rice Owls have one heck of a secondary because their starting cornerback is a sophomore, last name Billity, first name Mo.
Come on. How's ability spelled?
Mobility.
Come on.
M-O-H.
Wait.
Ability.
Wow.
Cornerback's name is Mobility.
So the
brother-
ability part's
is his
spelled
brother
right, but
Abe?
the MO's not.
His brother Abe.
Yeah, ability.
Ability. That's right.
My dad.
Sister's Avelia.
There you go.
Avela. We like going with Avelia, but it is spelled Avela.
My dad always said when I was a kid, if I was ever acting up, he goes, "I'm gonna change your name to Mobile."
Oh, that's good.
Mobile Holmes.
Mobile Holmes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah. So the Rice Owls, Mobility is a cornerback for them. That's what I learned this weekend. What about you, Sterling? What'd you learn?
Yeah, this is probably a couple weekends ago, but I forgot about
Okay.
it, and
All right.
I remembered it again. I remember the song 1985 by Bowling for Soup.
Yes, I do actually.
Take your word for it.
Yeah,
It's a
you-
one-hit wonder.
No, it's not.
Bowling for Soup had other hits.
Yeah, almost. Girl, the bad
Bowling
guys
for
once.
Chili.
Yeah, they actually had multiple hits.
Maybe a 2-hit.
Yeah,
wonder.
1986.
Fun
It's the
fact
next
for
song
you.
they came out with.
Okay.
This was a cover.
Oh, really?
1985 is a cover.
Of a
The original
song.
band had the same song, and it came out about a month beforehand.
What?
They had the same producer.
It's not a cover. It's a copy. It's
I-
plagiarism.
I
stealing.
love the
Nick,
producer.
that's music, buddy. That's,
Yeah.
that's what they do over there.
The Butch Walker, who was in a few bands, Marvelous 3, South Gang. He was in a whole bunch of stuff. He had his own solo stuff. Producer, he's written a lot of songs for very, very famous artists. Tons. I mean,
Yeah.
look it up. Really cool.
do.
But he was managing
right
both
now.
these bands, SR-71 and Bowling for Soup. SR-71 came out with
I
it.
love that plane. That was my favorite plane growing up. I was a big plane guy.
And Butch Walker's like, I think it'd be cool or it'd sound better if Bowling for Soup did it. They acquiesced, and then Bowling for Soup's version got massive, and no one knows that song, the original, which was by SR-71. So there you go.
I didn't know the.
I
I never
1985.
heard of
cover either.
SR-71.
They had a song in the late 90s called
Shooting Down
Right
Bogeys?
Now.
Oh.
That was really fairly popular.
Right now, hey.
No, that's Van
Show it
Halen.
tomorrow.
Right now,
Van Halen, that was a cover
Of
SR-71 a month later.
SR-71 actually.
Save that
had
for next
first.
week.
That's going to be my learn next week. Mick, what did you learn?
I learned that condoms from 7-Eleven cost $6.99.
Why'd you learn that?
Well, my wife,
Nice weekend.
that's where we're starting, had a big birthday.
Oh wow, it must have been.
Her birthday is
I thought it was like boyfriend or
is
something.
July 11th every year. It's July 11th.
Really?
7-Eleven. Oh yeah. And so we did 7-Eleven Price is Right
Yeah.
at the house. So I got a bunch of stuff from 7-Eleven, and then basically we got 4 contestants up, and you had to bid. Can't go over. Right, on how much are these donuts?
Yeah.
Right, how much are these Takis, the chips?
Right, yeah.
How much are these condoms? And the correct answer was $6.99.
Who was closest?
That's expensive.
It was my wife's cousin. She got them, and they actually stayed the night at our house. I'm like, oh man,
Wow, and she
locking
knew
that
the
door.
exact. I know exactly
Yeah,
how much those
they
are.
did the old, let me guess here. Let me
kinda
just
like-
take a wild
She winks at her
dart.
husband.
Yeah, so she was Sterling in Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, gee, let me
Yeah,
guess what this
exactly.
was.
Never seen this movie.
82%.
Shockingly couldn't find them the
Oh,
next morning.
weird. 82%. Oh, funny. How about that? $6.99.
They
Oh,
were
did I
free
get it
after
right?
being used.
You ate it right? $6.98. That was a $6.97. I went $6.99. I'm glossing right over that. Dylan, what'd you learn? The last learn for Dylan. God, I can't wait to hear this one.
Do you hear about this guy, Jim Abbott? I learned that Mattel is opening up a Uno social club in Las Vegas,
right.
Nevada, that will be one of many. We don't know yet if there will be the ability to gamble on Uno, but you can go just the same as blackjack or any of the other
Wow.
It's
the
in
table card
Vegas.
games in Vegas now at the Palm.
Yeah.
And play Uno.
It's a table game. It's got to be able to bet on it if it's
Absolutely,
in Vegas.
I agree.
Yeah.
If it was Skip-Bo, if I could bet on a game on Skip-Bo, man,
You know what?
I'd be a D-Gen.
Slapjack. Boy, how many fights are slapjack there? Funniest for but I saw that Uno. Now my kids can go there, and finally we can gamble with them. My son counts cards with Uno. He is smart.
Let's go.
Sterling, what was the funniest for you from the weekend?
Bobby Witt Jr. had a jump throw yesterday at shortstop, and that was better than any play Derek Jeter has ever made. And at least jump throw. And I'm laughing because if that would have been Derek Jeter, that would have been blasted for the next 25 years all over our screens because, he jumped while throwing the ball. Bobby
He
Witt
did
Jr.
do it, but he took like 2 steps to his
Bo-
right. to
Bobby
do it.
Witt Jr. made a play that Derek Jeter could only dream of. And even then, I don't think even in his dreams Jeter's making that play. And we will probably never see that ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, just it blows my mind how good Bobby Witt Jr. is defensively. So I think it's funny that Jeter does something minor and gets just lauded for it because New York, and then Bobby Witt Jr. makes an insane play, and we'll probably never see it again. So
Vinny with a great scoop too. So Vinny capping off that thing with being
created
able
yeah,
to-
but
long
like
hop
Don
waiting.
Mattingly was at least a good defensive first baseman, so
That's
I can do that. But Derek Jeter, the chocolate chip of cookies of baseball players,
so
good but overrated.
so
Dependable
just
and
like
good all the time.
dependable, the
Overrated,
the
though.
most famous, the best.
Yeah,
the
very
one you-
famous.
the go-to.
No,
Chocolate chips. sucks.
overrated.
So overrated.
Thank you. So overrated.
overrated.
Yes.
Unless it's right out of the oven. I'm great. But then once like it hardens up, no thanks.
Yes.
No
Overrated.
thanks.
So, okay, so
Give
what's
me
the
soft
what's the
oatmeal
hardened
raisin.
What's the no?
Yes!
You said
That's Bobby Witt Jr. right there.
Yes,
Oatmeal
he
raisin
is.
cookies or
Oh.
peanut
Don't-
butter
don't you
or
ever-
sugar.
Oh,
Don't you-
protein packed.
Don't you ever call Bobby Witt oatmeal raisin?
Snickerdoodle?
I swear to God.
Oh,
Sign me
dude.
up.
Yeah, baby.
You call Bobby Witt oatmeal raisin again, and we're going to be fighting.
Chocolate chip is
Zach
so
Greinke is
overrated.
oatmeal
Yes,
raisin.
thank you, dude.
Oh, Zach Greinke's oatmeal raisin because that might be his favorite
Right,
food.
right.
I don't know. Maybe oatmeal raisin cookies are my
Because it's the
favorite
cookie
food.
that,
that?
only psychos think
might.
is the best cookie.
I love oatmeal raisin
Oh,
cookies.
they're great.
Psychos think that.
Best
Soft.
cookie though.
Oh yeah.
Snickerdoodle's
Yeah, see, I
probably
can't.
number
I
one,
was gonna
but yeah,
say,
number two.
That's what I'm saying. There's other one. If it's not
Macadamia
chocolate
nut.
chip, it ain't oatmeal raisin.
Macadamia.
Chocolate
That's
chip
out
is
there.
so overrated, which is
Oh,
Derek Jeter.
God, I
Derek
know,
Jeter,
right?
the overrated.
It's like I
chocolate
take
chip
a
cookie.
bite and it just
Yeah.
it's like Cookie Monster. It just crumbles all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, I broke a molar.
Okay.
Stupid hard chocolate chip cookies.
So again,
Anyway.
you didn't use the same criteria there. You said a hardened chocolate chip cookie, but give me a soft, fresh out of the oven oatmeal raisin.
No, I didn't.
So, but you did say so. Was chocolate chip was fresh out of the oven?
Yes,
Is that what
I
you,
like
okay.
it. I love
Okay.
it right out of the oven.
So, but
Melts in your mouth.
a hardened chocolate chip over a soft oatmeal raisin.
No, the opposite. Soft oatmeal raisin over hardened chocolate chip. You're not
Yes,
paying attention
agreed.
here?
Yeah.
That's what I said. Hardened oatmeal.
Oatmeal raisins are always soft, whether they're right out of the oven or not.
Okay,
Agreed.
I see what you're saying. I flipped it. My bad.
Yeah.
The soft oatmeal raisin over a hardened chocolate chip.
Everything.
So
Give me
it's not-
asparagus.
right, but it's not the same criteria though. So a hardened chocolate chip over hardened.
Sterling stuff.
Well, what about a hardened oatmeal raisin?
Do they exist?
Yes, they do. If
The
you- if they
oatmeal
sit-
keeps them soft. Like
I
the oatmeal.
would take that
oatmeal
because
never
guess what?
hardens.
The raisin isn't crunching all over the place like
Agreed.
a chocolate chip is.
I'll take the chocolate chip over a raisin.
And I don't think it is with the oatmeal. I think it's always going to stay soft. Absolutely.
Really? If I just put an oatmeal raisin cookie out there in the sun for the next, or in, you know what? Ooh, no, the cold.
You're
'Cause
right.
You like
do
the cold
that.
over the sun.
Do that for
And
an
it'll-
hour or two,
and it'll be
then
soft
give
still.
me a chocolate chip cookie. 30 seconds after the oven. Okay.
Mick's talking about it like it's
There's the same hardness.
Mick's talking about it like it's a Twinkie. It'll survive a
It
nuclear holiday.
It will. Love it. I'll eat a Twinkie over a chocolate chip.
The only
cookie.
thing you have is
Survive
Twinkies
the
and
rapture.
oatmeal raisin and Twinkies.
For years, I've been waiting on what we're going to bond on, Sterling.
This is it.
We found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you found the oddest thing: oatmeal raisin
Golf
cookies. to
and
bond
oatmeal
on.
raisin
You guys like
cookies.
black licorice too?
Oh no, that's
No, it's
not
disgusting.
crazy.
I'm not a
It's,
licorice guy.
What was the funniest for you, Mick?
The funniest for me was this. I sent it to Dylan. This is okay. There was a mountain lion supposedly loose in Chicago, and another great eyewitness accounts in this reporter's package here.
The roar. I felt that roar. I knew to keep it pushing. I knew that.
Curtis Jones says he was walking near Robber Street late Wednesday when he saw people running from what appeared to be a large wild cat.
After I see the people run, I just see something big just walking, just right over here, right by the bush. It went right over here. I swear, I promise you, it went right over there. And it said, roar, and I just kept walking. I seen me, see it. So in my head, I'm like, nah, I gotta go, man. I'm out.
Rochester police say officers became aware of a video on social media that appears to show a wild cat, which some people claim is a mountain lion. RPD says it received numerous calls of reported sightings, including one near North Clinton Avenue and Robber Street just after midnight.
It about like this big. Word. It was just walking, slithering like it was. I don't know, man.
A shelter in place was ordered and then lifted when RPD was unable to verify the presence of a wild animal. Police say no reports have been substantiated. Jones tells me he remains on edge.
You gotta keep this bat right here, man. I'm gonna keep this bat right here, man, just in case. I'm gonna protect this. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to us, nothing, okay? They ain't find it last night. It's still out here. It could be out here in one of these bushes or something. You know, them mountain lions, they be, wow, they be crawling, and, you know, they serious.
The Monroe County Sheriff's Office assisted the investigation by using an aerial drone. The Seneca Park Zoo told 13 Wham all of its animals are accounted for.
I don't play with lions. I don't play with tigers, bears, nothing with the wild. I don't play with those. I promise you. I don't even do roller coasters. I'm good.
Not even if there's a fire.
No,
I'm not going to call
I
him
don't do
Dad.
roller coasters, and then the line of I seen it, see me, seeing it.
Seeing it, yes. I noticed him seeing me seeing it. It was a great line. He was
Do you believe him?
slithering.
I believe every word of that.
He was slithering
He was
and everything.
I got this bat right here. Yeah.
The only thing was missing was Who all seen the mountain lion? Say yeah, yeah, and then that smile.
Or it could be a crackhead.
Who all seen a leprechaun? Say yeah.
That's an all-time.
That's really good, man.
That's gold right there. And the reporter was perfect.
Yes.
Let him be crazy. She states the facts. Get back to the crazy. Here's the facts called the zoo. More crazy. Talk to the mayor. More crazy. It was great.
So you don't believe that there's an actual mountain lion on the loose in Chicago?
No, I absolutely do.
Yes, absolutely. That guy was telling the truth.
Although, like, growing up, where I grew up, every month, some farmers say, yeah, I saw a mountain lion, saw a mountain lion. We saw a mountain lion. I never saw one.
So you're saying big...
I feel like people want to see mountain lions all the time, kind of maybe
but
a Bigfoot type deal.
I will say that Zoo said that they're all accounted for, so it's Big Zoo hiding something.
Or no, Big Outdoors might be hiding something.
Big Bear chased me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although, I mean, but some of these people, I mean, they're pets to some people sometimes, and sometimes they get too big and they just let them go. And
I want to see the amateur sketch.
Yeah,
I've said mountain
That's
lion,
right,
like a
yeah.
leprechaun. It's just a picture of the Lion King. Looks just like this.
It just looks like that
Just looks like-
drawing, where it says the horse and one's like really nice, but then it gets to be
yes, the Game of Thrones.
Yes. Funniest for you, Dylan.
Funniest for me, I have two of them. One of them, first question, has any of you guys finished quarterback season 2 yet?
Not
I
yet.
am 2 episodes
No,
in.
it's 3, right? Are we?
No,
oh,
it's season
quarterback 2 of
2.
quarterback. Gotcha.
Season 1 of
No, I
receiver.
haven't seen
2
it.
episodes in, so please don't
I need to
spoil
see it.
it.
I won't
care. Spoiler
spoil
alert.
Is
it.
it
I am going to
Netflix?
spoil
Netflix?
one spot here. And I know that you guys haven't because I know it would be all over my timeline when people do see it, and I saw it, so everyone has to hear about it. Orlando Brown Jr. is mic'd up referring to Joe Burrow as the greatest of all time after he wins against the Broncos in Week 12 in overtime. So that's my funniest. Is that
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
He said and mic'd up, you're the greatest of all time after he won a regular season game in Week 12 against
Yeah, that
the
makes
Bo
sense.
Nix and the Broncos. So
Yeah.
Orlando's played with 2 better quarterbacks.
exactly. So that is why
Wait,
it's my
and then who did he
funniest.
play with at OU?
Kyler Murray and I think Jalen Hurts maybe for a year, but
He
I
might
know
have played
Kyler
with
Murray.
3 better quarterbacks,
Yeah. Well, you know
but
what?
2 at least.
I need to bring back my learn because what I learned on Thursday night was Baker Mayfield wants Creed Humphrey for a center.
Yeah.
We talked.
He had him, didn't he, for one
Right, that's what he
year?
was.
Okay.
We were talking to. We were at the celebrity karaoke, and Baker was like, "God, I'd love to have Creed Humphrey as my center." He goes, "Nothing against my center right now, guys. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that.
I don't know his name. I'm just calling him my center.
Not saying that the guy that I have right now. I'm
it's
just saying
Robert Hainsey or
Creed would be awesome. I don't know. He ain't got Tristan Wirfs for a while.
My
so.
shorter other funny before I remembered that I saw that, and so everyone else has to hear it.
Yeah.
Is Hugh Grant falling asleep at the Wimbledon? Like he has like one of the best seats in the house at the Wimbledon, and he is just knocked out in a full suit and sunglasses. So it's the old stars. They're just like
Those
us.
ladies of the night
Was
got
it
to
the
him.
was
Yeah,
it
was
the
it-
women's final on Saturday?
I
'Cause
don't remember what one it was, but he is
I can understand falling asleep during that.
knocked out.
Yes.
Yeah, so he might have had a few too many. Who knows? Probably not allegedly, but yeah, he's just like us.
Okay.
You can fall asleep at a sporting event even if he's Hugh Grant.
Yeah. I almost fell asleep at the UConn Butler National Championship game
Yeah, that.
in 2011.
Yeah, 11.
That was, I think, what was the final? 48-44? Oh, not even the one where Gordon Hayward missed the half-court shot against Duke.
That was
Yeah.
Duke,
Before, right?
Yeah, the next year, I was sitting at courtside. I was in Mike DeCourcy's seat, and it was from me to Sterling where the Butler Bulldog was, and I was
The
nodding off.
mascot or the actual bulldog?
No, the actual dog.
Oh, wow.
Okay. No, the actual dog was sitting there. My funniest is all of the people reaching out, texting, and tweeting about Jim Abbott's E60 last night. That was my funniest from the weekend. Is everybody was like, "Hey, Jim Abbott's E60 is going to. Hey, anybody let Dylan know that there's an E60 for Jim Abbott last night
That was my best.
on ESPN right after the first round of the draft. They went right into Jim Abbott's E60, and boy, there were a lot of people letting us know about that.
We were walking out after sound off. We were watching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're doing a Jim Abbott 360. And it was Matt Derrick and Blair Kirchhoff. And who was
Seren?
my third? Curtis. Sorry, Curtis.
Oh, Kadog.
And we were walking out. I'm like, what do you guys know about Dylan and Jim Abbott? So I had to tell them the story. And they were laughing, of course, because I tell a great story. And then Blair had the best line. When I told him that, Dylan said, "Hey, did you know he threw a no-hitter one-handed?" And Blair's like, "Dylan, he did everything one-handed. He drove, he cooked."
Most no hitters are thrown one-handed.
They are. It's true.
Most every no hitter that's
Did
ever been
everything
thrown.
one. He's
It's
right.
gonna be
yeah.
a really slow baseball if you're throwing it two-handed.
That's why they play.
Chest
That's
pass.
why they pay Blair
I
the
bet you
big
get some
bucks,
swings
so.
and misses on that though.
The eephus ball, chest pass pitch. Yeah, that was my funniest last night. So many people reaching out of, hey, is Dylan watching the C60 tonight with Jim Abbott?
And I said I have been shown about 10 episodes worth of Jim Abbott stuff since that day on my timeline or anything. Or
actually, Dylan his next venture is writing the biography of Jim Abbott. That's what he's quitting to do. Is
the memoirs.
We lose yet another producer to the writing gig.
Yep.
You know, Dravetta goes and writes, and now Dylan's going to go and write the biography of Jim Abbott. All right, we go to the best. We start with you, Mick. Best from the weekend.
So I found the Phillies ball boy must be like some ESPN top 100 baseball player. He's amazing. He makes all these stabs. The Phillies actually put together a highlight reel leading into the All-Star game saying that he needed to be the ball boy in the All-Star game about how good he was. And there are some amazing plays. But then shout out to the Royals ball boy yesterday.
Dude.
Made a stab, like tough,
Beautiful.
off the wall, barehanded. Well done. The ball boy game is really... they're really up in their game.
Yeah, 100%.
around
that
the
was
league.
one heck of a play by the
yeah.
Royals ball boy yesterday. Dylan, best for you?
Best for me was just everyone online and in person, and just everyone being super nice and
About
saying
Jim Abbott?
I was going to lead it to that, but no, just everyone saying goodbye, I guess is a sad way to put it. But
I don't do goodbyes.
Yeah.
Irish.
Goodbye, Dylan. It's been nice. Hope you find your paradise.
I committed to it. I appreciate that, Sterling. Thank you.
Yeah, that was for you.
It's a commitment for that one.
I hated that. I really cannot sing. That's why I play drums.
I got you a gold watch instead of a song. I hope that's okay.
Are you serious? That's very nice.
Rolex.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's a picture of it.
It's a gift from all of us.
It's cool.
Half of it's from me.
I went to sales. They had some gift cards for him.
$5. I'll go to the movies by myself.
I can bring two of my friends. My best, two of them. One, Little Man and Little Miss Everett and Juliet got to run out on the field with the Royals yesterday with the Chevrolet All-Stars, and Everett ran out with Bobby, and Jules ran out with Jonathan India.
What?
It was pretty cool. They both looked at their hair and everything. So yeah.
Was it just one per player? One
kid per player, and
he got Bobby all to himself.
He got Bobby. They get out there, then they sign a baseball for him. And my son took like a card of every single position player just in case. And then when he found out he got Bobby, he pulled the Bobby Witt rookie card.
Perfect.
So Bobby signed the rookie card. And
I
signed
thought
the
I saw
baseball.
that on eBay.
Yeah.
I thought I saw that on eBay.
I did not put my son up on eBay. I am not selling my son. I don't care what anybody
Let's
says.
just say Little Miss delivered with what Indy have 2-3 hits.
And Everett back-to-back
and then
double
Bob
plays.
back-to-back double plays.
Yep.
Everett, what are we doing? Okay.
Yep,
and
that's
then
right.
nothing single that didn't even matter. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they both had roughly the same hair. Everett's growing his hair like Bobby Witt, and Jules and Jonathan India have roughly the same hair. So that was really cool.
Is baseball going to do it like soccer, where every player gets a kid?
It's on Sundays, Sunday home games. They do
Okay.
it with the Chevy All Stars. So that was really cool.
They got to
that
return him
chosen.
The kids?
No, my son's still with Bobby.
Okay,
so
good.
he's still hanging out. He said he'll be back whenever. One day I'll let you know. In 10 years, Dad, I'll let you know what the future is.
You're like, take as much time. Whatever. Where do you? Yeah, just return whenever.
We actually met a couple in Tahoe that was playing as one of the clients of American Century that lived down the street from Bobby Witt. They're like, oh, one of our neighbors plays for the Royals. Bobby Witt? I'm like, yeah, I've heard of him.
Bobby Witt?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, our son played baseball all through Little League and high school with Bobby. Yeah, we're really close with the Witts.
Man.
That's cool. No wonder you're playing in this American Century Championship
exactly.
as one of the clients. That's cool. My also best is, Dylan just being Dylan. And this being his last day. That sucks. We talked the first segment. If you missed that, go listen on podcast. We said our goodbyes to Dylan. Sterling?
My best is Dylan.
Yeah, it is.
I miss you, buddy.
Yep.
Miss y'all's as well.
I got you some bourbon.
That's a tough spot.
Well, it's in the you can't tell him what the gift is. It's in the bag.
No, because
he's not going to know what's in the bag.
Before the show starts, he goes, I wonder what's in that bottle.
What's in that brown paper bag?
He goes, thanks for the bourbon. And I'm like, you don't know what it is. It could be anything.
You say bourbon in every sentence.
But I switched it up. It's not Willet this time.
But is it bourbon?
It is bourbon this time, yeah. It's still bourbon this time.
Yeah, I'd switch it up. It's
still bourbon.
Yeah.
I switched
It's
it
a
from
different
bourbon.
name.
Yeah.
It's bourbon.
I appreciate
2023 award winner. It's good.
It's very nice,
good
buddy.
stuff.
I appreciate you, dude.
Major award.
Yeah. It's not bourbon. It's just whiskey. So I did switch it up now. We'll take a break. Come back. More's on next. It'll be fine. You'll eventually press the right one.
Eventually.
Not a big deal. Dylan, love you, brother. Man, it's been a blast, honestly.
Love you, fellas, man. It's friends for life.
Yes.
For real.
That's right. Friends forever.
I sang him a
always will be
song.
friends.
Your turn to sing him a
Talking
song,
about
Nick.
friends
I said, no, it's the watch that
forever.
he's wearing. I gave it to him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
It is gold.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like a brownish
Impressive.
gold. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, he
Yeah.
bought it years ago, but I'm like, you can wear that still. I allow it.
Yeah. Thank you, Dylan,
welcome.
from his heart.
Thank you, Dylan.